It's Monday morning, you sons of bitches. Wake up. It is time for a show. I don't know what show it is, but it's this show. It's Collider Live. And I am joined by a classy individual, someone who enjoys sports and does it well. Mark Reilly is here. How are you, Mark?
I'm very well, thank you.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you,
Nice
my
to
friend.
see you too. Oh, hey, you're here too. What's going on, Roxy?
I knew when you said classy, you couldn't be talking about me.
Definitely not talking
I'm
about
not
you.
talking about you.
Who, like Clark Wolf?
I will say this. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well, let me finish.
Okay.
I want to congratulate, because there's baseball that was played over the weekend. You talk about class, you talk about hard work, you talk about ethic. Congratulations to the Dodgers. They played hard, just didn't go their way. Let's move on.
It's a nice shirt you're wearing today.
Yeah, I lost a bet, and it's also, this is for Schmoedown.
Yeah.
I'm not, listen.
At least you can wear it for the Schmoedown.
I like it.
This is the thing. I will
Boston
never,
love.
I hate the Red Sox more than I could hate anything. I hate them. However, I cannot
Dispute.
dispute that this was a team that was just superior in every facet of the word.
It was unbelievable.
They were superior. I mean, they that 18-inning game, they lost barely.
Barely.
And then they come back from that 4-run deficit and they win. And it's just like, this is what happened. So I was watching, after the 18-inning game, I watched, my daughter and I were watching the one where Puig hits the home run. He's winning. It's 4-0.
runs. God.
I'm still like, we don't got this yet, because if Dodgers win that game, then it's a wholly different series.
Yesterday would have been totally different.
Totally different series, momentum, and everything too. So then it's 4-3. It's 4-3 when my daughter goes to sleep.
Yeah.
They tie it up. I turn the television off. And my wife goes, "You don't want to watch the rest?" I go, "The momentum has shifted. I guarantee you, I would put thousands of dollars if the Red Sox win this game. The momentum just shifted." I just checked my phone. I said, "Hey, Siri, who won between the Red Sox
Oh my
and the
God.
Dodgers?"
Siri
Stupid. And she just woke up. And lo and behold, they won. I said, "I'm not watching tomorrow's game. The Red Sox are going to win." And they won.
Good thing you didn't
Yeah.
bet
Well, no, I would have been right. I would have won thousands of dollars.
that they would have won the. Oh, I thought you meant you turned off the game before the 18 inning game.
No. I turned off the next game, the game afterwards. I said
Gotcha.
it was 4-4. I said I would bet thousands of dollars if the Red Sox were going to win that game.
Yeah, that's
because
how you
can see it in their eyes.
You felt the shift. It's just the shift was.
Yeah, I mean the energy there last night. So
You went to the game,
I went to
yeah.
the game, which was freaking awesome. Honestly, a friend of mine who's like kind of a new friend. She just got to LA from back home.
Wow, we'll be friends for life
She
now.
texted me an hour before and was like, "Hey, my uncle just got me tickets. Any interest?"
Did you have to pay for the ticket?
No.
Oh yes.
Oh
this
my
is
God.
this is a friend for life.
You go to the World
I-
Series.
I-
You're going to her
everything.
wedding, her funeral,
She,
everything.
legitimately, she was like, "Any interest?" Like, so sorry that this is so last minute.
So sorry for the
Right.
free World Series
I
tickets.
literally wrote back. I said, "Are you punking me? Because I don't know her that well
Right.
yet." And I was like, "This is a really mean joke. Like, I
Right.
really don't understand." She's like, "No, seriously. I just want to go with a Red Sox fan. I don't really know anybody here." And I was like,
That's great.
"I mean, are you kidding?"
Yeah, you and Ben had nice plans, and those were right at the window. You were going to the Red Sox game.
Oh, I couldn't. It didn't
give a shit
matter.
what he
It
was
didn't
doing.
matter who I was. I could have
Right.
been seeing the Pope that night.
Done.
And what do I say?
And I understand that. I mean, I'm not taking. First of all, congratulations to Red Sox fans. I mean,
you.
in the fact,
They're lights out.
yes, I hate you all.
Yeah, I
and
get it.
and I hate your team. But you can't deny that that's a team. It wasn't cheap. It was dominance. It was dominance over my team.
dominance.
It was dominance
Yeah.
over the Astros, and it was dominance over the Dodgers. There was never a time where they looked like they were out. They were always looked like they were in control. Except the only time was after that 18
in the first inning of the game yesterday.
Right, first inning.
Literally
First
the
inning
first
where they
inning.
scored a run.
That's it.
Yeah.
And went up.
I was
and then,
nervous.
And you could just go, okay,
I got
here it
nervous.
is.
I mean, the Dodgers fans are so loud. Here's what I will say, though. I take a little bit of credit because, as any masshole does, they try to figure out why they did this. In 2008, I went and watched the Celtics beat the Lakers in Game 6.
You know
at
what? You're
home.
bringing up a lot of things that hurt right now.
In 2015, I watched the Patriots. I went to the Super Bowl where the Patriots beat the Seahawks, and so I do.
So it's Roxy.
I do,
hates you.
I do feel as if I've got some of that good juju.
Yeah, we should have been there when they played the Giants, but you
Yeah,
weren't.
but I wasn't.
Oh shit!
But I
too.
wasn't, yeah.
That's all I got right now.
Yeah.
I feel like an old how the Red
Giants
Sox
fan.
how the Red Sox fans used to be.
Yeah.
like they'd be like, oh, we have 2004. It's like now so Yankees still have 27 championships. So it's like if you have we still have you beat that way, but.
Yeah.
in the last decade, it's the Red Sox. I mean, it's the Red Sox.
You pull
And
the
the
only thing
Patriots.
you can pull, and I totally understand that, and that's what you have
the Patriots
to
too.
Yeah, the Lakers beat the Celtics the following year.
do. Thank you for
You
that.
say the
one.
Patriots. Hey, by the way, no. See, the Giants still have it over the Patriots.
No. I'm talking
It's
about
a
right
big
now.
goose egg.
As far as dominance right now, the Patriots.
Yes,
I mean, come on.
because you know what, the Giants stink. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. I was.
So do the
I don't know what the hell I was
Seahawks.
doing. My daughter turns on the television yesterday. She's like, Dada, the Giants are on. I go, the Giants stink. And she calls back. She's like, don't say that. That's your favorite team. And I was like, she's right. But I said, look, I still love them, but they stink.
It
and they do. They
sucks
stink.
when your team
Oh, they
sucks.
stink
It
right now.
sucks. And I
They're
totally
so awful.
understand you guys. If I didn't love Boston with everything that I bled, I would hate us.
Of course,
it
and I
sucks.
understand that, and I understand why you guys hate the Yankees. I get it.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, congratulations to
Thank
those
you so
fucks,
much.
and they won it, so they're the champions, and it's deserved. So all you Red Sox fans, good for you. Suck it. All right, moving on to we have a really good week here. Well, we had a good week last week, man. What a week
last
we
week
had
was-
with the guests that we had, just the conversations that were had.
What
and-
did we talk about? Were people happy I wasn't here?
I don't look at comments. I mean, I wasn't happy you were here. I'd like to have you and Dorina together on that show. It would have been fun.
That would have
Yeah,
been fun.
she's cool. I
She
like
rules.
her.
Yeah, I love her. She's really cool. So, I'm happy with our entire cast of everybody that we've had on this show. It's good. And the Bibiani and Roca thing, whatever. Great. Congratulations. For spoilers, by the way. Spoilers, if you haven't watched the match and you want to watch the match from Friday, just pause it or come back in 2 minutes. Thank you. Congratulations to the new movie trivia Schmoedown champion of the world, Mr. John Roca. He did it. It was a great match.
Wow.
Great
I have
match.
never been as uncomfortable as that day.
I know it was great. That sold the match, boy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
It
it did.
sold the match.
The big match,
Yeah,
a lot of views.
did good
That's
numbers.
great.
And I listened to the Schmoedown rundown. Those guys broke it down. They had Roca on. It was a great interview. If you got to listen, exactly.
There it
Are
is.
you glad he won? Honestly, do you get to have any kind of opinion?
I mean, yeah, I have an opinion. I'm happy for John that he won. I mean, he's one of the guys that helped build this league. There's no doubt about it. He was the first guy to embrace the WWE aspect of it and the character of it. And
Yeah, but he's such a fuck.
that's nice.
You know? I mean,
No, I don't know.
Bibbs is too. They're both.
Yeah.
It was like one fuck going against another fuck.
right.
A one fuck
Right.
camel has a one fuck poop. Fuck off.
But there's a reason that they're both
In a good way. In a good way.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
both very popular. They're both fighters, and John Roca is easily the Conor McGregor of the Schmoedown, hands down. And so the answer is, does he, now that he's headlining the Spectacular, and we'll find out who? It's big. That's a big draw. That's like the big, again, you want Conor McGregor headlining it, but Bibbs was amazing, fought really well. He's very popular with the fans. His
was
his
close.
knowledge is great. So he would have been just as
He's
good.
so knowledgeable.
He would have been just as good.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I was happy. But anyway, the rundown really broke it down. Had a conversation with Roca. It's a great show. If you're not listening to it, it's on the
It
Collider
is really
Factory.
great.
You can find it two
Who does
places.
it?
Brad Gilmore is the host of it, and Brad I met through. He reached out. He was the guy. He's Booker T's co-host, right? In their show, Heated Conversations, and they're amazing. They also run Reality of Wrestling. They're very good dudes. Brad Gilmore is a superstar. He's one of my favorite people that we work with. He's just a constant professional. Works really hard. And then of course Frankie Janish, Frankie Numbers.
Frank.
Yep, Frankie Numbers is the ideal Schmoedown fan. He is. The dude flies from Chicago to come to events. He knows all the stats. He keeps a full-on document. We're launching the Schmoedown website on November 1st, and Frank's going to be doing all the stats and stuff too. And they're like the perfect team. It's Brad and Frank, and then Chris Clark is their producer, and it's really fun. They have guests on. They do live shows. You can find it if you guys want to find it on audio. You go to the Schmoedown rundown on the Collider Factory feed.
Yep.
But if you want to watch it, they do it on video also. It's on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel. And it's every week, and it's great. It's
Do you think
very
there's
insightful.
anybody who listens to Collider Live who doesn't know what Schmoedown is?
I mean, I think more and more there is less of that is happening too, and I think that's one of the things I wanted to do that we did on Schmoes is that when we do segments like Bibbs and Roca, I don't want it to be a Schmoedown show, but I think that when it comes to big fights and things of that nature, that it should be something that's promoted. It's our UFC. So we should use this show to promote the big fights. So when Spectacular comes and we find out who the main event is and all those cards, we'll have guests on from.
Spoiler alert, it's me.
You're going to be in the main event, playing Roka for the title.
Yeah.
Okay. How many rounds do you think you can make it?
All of them.
You think you can make all the rounds?
Yeah, all the rounds.
All the rounds, all the records, all the belts.
All the belts, all the rounds.
Cool.
I think Roxy can do it.
Yeah.
I think you can do it. Let's throw some trivia at you right now.
So
can
anyway,
you make a TV?
But check them out. And the other thing that we did, your boys, Afterthoughts. I got an announcement about Afterthoughts.
Oh.
What's wrong?
No, I just feel bad I haven't listened yet.
Well, you're going to be listening more, and I'll tell you why.
Ooh.
So there's an announcement with Afterthoughts. So Afterthoughts, Ryan Snelling and Jay Williams, who are on every Friday on the Movie Talk feed, and they break down everything in the world of Collider, we're doing a bit of a switch up. So
Switcheroony.
for this week, and this week only, you'll be able to find that show on both the Movie Talk feed and the Collider Live podcast feed on audio. However, starting next week, it's going to be exclusively just for the Collider Live podcast feed. Right. So Afterthoughts will become a Collider Live Afterthought show. Now, this will be covering stuff that's inside of Collider, but they have 6 hours of material. I listened to the show over the weekend. They have so much to talk about. They're so passionate about the show, and their conversations kind of spin off of.
That's pretty dope.
It's great, and it's ultimately so. The idea where we had the After Schmo show, and it was like essentially what Howard Stern's After Show did, right? And they broke down. But the problem is we only had one show for 2 hours. Now there's 3 shows, 6 hours. They watch every single episode. They go into all the conversations. They spin off. They talk about the personalities. They had this whole debate, which is so funny. Snelling was like, I don't know. When I listen to Kristian talk about having family, and it makes me realize, because I don't get to go to screenings a lot and I have to go do these things. And he's like, it makes me realize that's why I don't want to have family. And I'm like, dude, you're 24 years old. Yeah. You think that I wanted to do anything like I'm doing right now when I was 24? No. You couldn't find me if you tried to find me. Where's Kristian? It's 3 a.m. Good luck. Yeah. At 3 a.m.
Can I ask you a behind the scenes question?
Yeah.
Real question.
Sure.
That you'd probably prefer me to ask you off air, but I'm going to ask you on.
Go ahead.
Did you call them and say, this is what I want? Or did they say to you, there's too much content and this is what we want to do? Or somewhere in between?
No. It's a mixture of both. They were, so if you listen to their show, I thought you were going somewhere totally different with that line of question.
I did too.
Really? Where were you thinking?
I thought we were getting a 2006
Kristian
Harloff question.
That's for when Roxy does my one-on-one, I guess.
Right.
When's that happening, by the way?
I think
Not like I'm getting tweets about it.
I will tell you what. There's 2 things here. I want to do. We'll go back to the Afterthoughts question, but I obviously want to have you on one-on-one. There's no doubt about that. But when I always wanted to do an episode where someone had an actual one-on-one with me, and I think I'd want you to host that.
I would love to do your one-on-one.
That'd be good.
Just so you know, that's a huge compliment that you just gave me, even though you won't phrase it like that because I'm a Red Sox fan. But I'm going to take that as a compliment. And second of all, I would be humbled and honored.
It would be great, and we should do that for sure. Back to your question, though. So I was listening to their show, and I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and they dive into it. They talked about you a lot and the whole thing that was happening with you not understanding, and then you listening, and then then you saying you really dug what they were doing. And they had this whole conversation about it, and they dove so deep into what we talk about here, right, for 6 hours of stuff, and they always watch it. They're passionate fans about it. And I started listening to and they cover like the video game stuff and everything too. And I find myself going, the most intriguing stuff is the stuff they're passionate about. And it was this. So I said, let me ask you a question to them. Would you want to do, I said, because I don't necessarily want to put that much work on them to do 2 shows. So I was like, do you want to do a Collider Live show? And you guys can cover whatever it was. So they thought about it. I let them make the choice. It wasn't like, this is what you need to do. It was like, you guys decide whatever you want to do. So they came back to it, and they thought, they did a test episode this past week. And it was one of the best. Their show's always great, but this is one of the best episodes that I heard because there was so much conversation, even with the Klitschko stuff they were talking about. And Jay has his opinion on unionizing fighters, and they talked about that and how it related to the conversation, and moving on over to John Noble, and then back to Matt Serra being on, and it was just like, it just flowed so much smoother than him having to get to, I got to watch Movie Talk, I got to watch Jedi Council, I got to watch this.
Yeah.
It's a lot to ask for somebody.
We have a lot
You know
of
what I
content.
was noticing too when I was listening to their show is that they would be saving Collider Live till the end, but it would come up in conversation like 15 times before they got there because you could tell that's what they wanted to talk about. I don't mean that in like a conceited way. It's just
it's a lot for them to watch. You're asking if you're doing a full recap on everything that Collider does with all the shit that we have. That's why, and this is nothing against them. It bugged me when I hear Snelling go, I didn't have a chance to take in a lot of Collider content this week, but I watched all live, and I'm like, then why are you doing that show?
Yeah. Right.
Because the point is, it's like that show is supposed to cover everything, but you can't ask somebody to watch all the stuff. That was their weekend. They would watch everything. So that was kind of where it came from. I talked to Fernandez about it, and he's like, yeah, that makes sense to me. So then we're just going to, and we have 3 shows a week that air on Collider Live. You know, the Monday, Tuesday, on as far as the audio goes.
Yeah.
They'd be a perfect sister companion to it, and we'll have 4 episodes, and that way I think more people.
So they'll be on Fridays.
They'll be on Fridays. They'll still be on Fridays. They'll tape it early. That's another thing. I think I'm going to do their first show. I'm trying to call in on Thursday to talk with them, and then be on their first episode that airs. So I mean, again, you guys should support the show if you're not listening to it. It's a great show. Jay and Ryan, they really work hard, and their dynamic is amazing. And I like
couple
the fact,
twat takes, but you know.
But that was what I was going to say. I get frustrated with Snelling every episode.
Yeah.
But it's in a way that you're supposed to get the same way you're
with
Skip
me
Bayless.
too. You get frustrated with Snelling, not with Jay as much.
No, Jay is someone I feel I would hang out with.
Yeah. So you wouldn't hang with Snelling?
Probably not. But I think I like him.
Why not? Yeah.
He just.
You would leave the conversation
he's not
liking yourself.
No, but no. I don't think that's fair. I think that.
No, he has a way of digging where it hurts because he sees
but that's
you.
But he plays it up. But he plays it up on air. He plays it up on air. So that I'm talking about like Skip Bayless. He annoys the hell out of me. But I like listening to his takes, and it frustrates me. It's the same way. You need that yin and yang for the 2 of those guys. That's what they do. But as far as I just when you have, I just feel that Jay's a guy I'm going to go watch a fight with. Snelling I'd go see a movie with, and I'm like, all right, dude, I'm going to go home.
Because of the quiet for the whole time?
Most likely. No. I bust balls. I think he's a smart kid. But it's just different personalities.
Yeah.
Monotone and joyless.
I don't think he's monotone and joyless. I think, but Beardo, you certainly are. Beardo, you missed Roka's show on Friday.
Oh yeah, I have work.
You went?
Couldn't make it.
I did not go. I went.
But
how was it?
Roka?
How was
just
it?
in general?
How was
Well, we're
show?
going to talk about
Great.
it. Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
What a fun night.
All right, good. We're going to talk about Ellis had his show. Ellis
so
had a show,
jealous.
and he had all these people on. I didn't get a chance to go. But
I
Beardo,
couldn't
did
be
you have the camera on you right now?
Yes, I do.
How's that mustache? You see Beardo's mustache?
No.
Yeah, he's rocking.
Is there
the
any way we
mustache.
can get the video in here? Or no, there's no way to do that.
No, you cannot.
Shit.
Wow, I
Bring up
came
your
in-
Instagram. Bring up your Instagram because
oh.
he dressed up as Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
I think there is a way. Can't you just
Fantastic.
go to YouTube and watch Collider Live, and then I can see your mustache?
Oh,
No, we can't do that.
Oh, thank you.
No, we can't.
He just shot you
I
down.
feel like you can.
That's because you're a Red Sox fan.
Yeah, I get it. I
But
get
let's
it.
just. But Beardo's. Look at it. It's great. It's great. It's really good.
Unbelievable.
It's really good.
Fantastic.
It's really good.
That looks like Makuga.
You think he looks like Makuga?
On the
that
right.
looks like
He,
Beardo.
he looks more and more like my friend Sam Tripoli every day.
Looks like Makuga.
He looks like Sam Tripoli.
Damn, that's on point.
Yeah, he looks good. It's good, Beardo. Good job. What made you decide you want to do it? Because you love the movie so much?
Yeah, I love the movie, and
Yeah.
I feel like I resemble him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
For sure.
Yeah.
It was good. How long did it? So you have the full. You already had the full beard. You just shaved it down.
Yeah, I bought a fake mustache in case I couldn't pull off this stupid mustache.
It's good though.
But yeah, I'll probably have it until October 31st.
All right. Well, because whatever as you were trimming your mustache, we were. They had the big comedy event. Ellis and crew. Who went? You went. How did
I went,
Makuga
yeah.
and Ken do hosting?
They were
Crushed it?
unbelievable.
How many people in the audience?
It was sold out.
Well,
So I would say it was
20
about
people, 30
80 people,
80 people, okay.
in the whole build,
So
in the
good.
whole area.
There you go. There he is,
Standing
there he
room
is.
in the back.
That's him. That's Beardo right
There
now.
it is.
It's great.
I knew it could work.
Yeah, just leave it. Just leave it. Just leave it up. Perfect. Just leave it there.
I love that.
All right. So, all right. Good. Right. So, there's about 80 people there.
About
Standing
80
room only.
standing room only. A bunch of us standing in the back.
Rowdy
out there,
crowd?
Rowdy crowd.
Okay.
Fun crowd. Laughing at all the right moments.
Collider fans or just random?
Collider fans, yep.
Okay.
Ran into Such a Small World. Went to high school with a girl named Laura. Her brother,
Okay.
huge fan of us.
Wow.
Shows up and gives Holly a Schnepp
Oh, I
bauble
saw that
toy.
picture.
We have one for the studio that I
Fantastic.
have that's going to be living on Collider Hero. So great.
Great.
Thank you so much. Saw great
So it's good.
fans, great
So
comedy.
take me through it. Take me through it. So the event starts and Makuga and Ken come out. They get a nice round of applause. From
Nice
the crowd.
round of applause, and they warm up that crowd like bosses.
Yeah.
So what does
Just-
that mean? Like the crowd work?
Yeah, crowd work.
Yeah.
They're bantering back and forth.
Do they have like note cards and they do bits together?
They
I
don't need
thought
to.
here's,
They don't
here's
need
the
to.
thing. I thought that I'm like, these guys are just
I'm
so
thirsty.
professional. You thirsty?
I'm thirsty.
I wonder if there's anything we can do about that.
That's a nice hint.
Yeah.
That's a very nice hint. No, I thought that I'm watching these guys and I'm like, they're such professionals. I'm like, I wonder how long it took them to like kind of come up with these bits, maybe a little bit of rehearsal.
Improv.
No.
Yeah, of course.
No, they just go
well,
up
those
there.
guys have been working together with the afternoons and everything
Yeah.
too, so they got a good rhythm going. It's the same thing when Ellis and I go up there now at this point.
Bunch
Got
of
a great
liars.
rhythm.
Bunch of liars. They are good
Yeah.
liars.
Yeah.
Lied to me
All
about
right,
truffle pumpers.
So who's crushing though? Who has some great sets? Obviously Ellis crushes, does a good job.
Ellis crushed
takes it out.
a lot of new material.
He goes last,
no,
right?
he went last.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
the
he went
headliner.
did
Jay
he do?
Washington crushed.
Did he? Good.
I had no idea
How
he
funny
was that
was?
funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I of course I knew he's
Yeah.
a great guy, on air.
But
and
stand up,
That's
whatnot.
not a dumb question.
being funny in person and being funny on stage is two different things.
Yeah.
What did he talk about?
Who, Jay Washington?
Yeah.
I mean, he talked about just, driving in Ubers. He talked about his stand-up. He talked about,
How long did he
dick
do?
jokes. He did. He made fun of Roka's set.
How long did he do?
I would say he did about 10.
About 10 minutes. Okay.
About 10 minutes.
Was
yeah.
Roka's set a set worth making fun of?
Well, let's save that for last.
Oh.
Let's save it for last.
Jumping the gun.
I want to see. Yeah. that's-
T did a set.
How did T do?
T was fantastic.
yeah? Okay. Would you be honest and tell me how everybody was? Who had the weakest set?
Well, John Roka.
Oh, you did. Okay. All right. So.
I will be honest. Yeah,
Okay.
T.
This is a champion, though.
And I think a few of her jokes I really appreciate. I think the audience was kind of like, what?
Yeah.
But then she hit this moment where she's like, I'm having sex with this 25-year-old.
Oh.
And she went into this whole thing, and it was hysterical.
Is she older than that?
She's older than that, I guess, I'm assuming.
I
Yeah.
don't know who that is.
T? Yeah,
She's been on Schmoes a ton of times. She's
Yeah.
on Movie Talk. She's really dry personality, but funny. Like just very honest. So I'm curious to see. I could see her being really funny.
She's really funny.
I feel that T is a very confident comedian.
She is.
Yeah, I could feel that.
She's very confident. There was another woman that the name never met her before, never
Candace.
seen her. Candace, thank
Yeah.
you. She was great. The dating, dating in
she's a
LA,
pro. She's a pro.
and what that's like. The set is all
Is that
about
kind of what you have
dating
to
in
do
LA.
as a woman, like talk about sex or dating?
No,
For it to go over?
No,
I just think she had a great story, like lots of great stories.
Yeah.
Like both, T and Candace were talking about how dating in LA sucks.
Yeah.
I didn't mean
tried
that in a
and
negative
true
way.
stuff.
No, I know. No,
But it's
it's
tried
not a
and
wrong
true
question.
stuff, and you're going in, and their observations make it funny. So
Right. It's
everybody
their
might
point of
talk
view.
about
Well, it's
their point of view was great.
I think that it's a crutch sometimes that people fall into where they feel like exactly that misconception that as a woman you have to talk about that, right? I think that because you won't be accepted if you talk about other stuff that dudes talk about, which I think is a complete misconception. I think that I certainly, you look at someone like Eliza Schlesinger, who certainly does dating and things of that nature.
That's the
but-
girl in Grasping Straws?
Yes, but I
Yeah,
think
Love
she
her.
does
but she turned
Netflix shows
Yeah,
now.
she does tons and tons of different material. Like there's, I think it is. Is this mine?
Yeah, you're ringing
Or
over
is
there.
this?
Hey guys, can we turn our phones off, please?
My phone is off.
Here's the deal.
But my
If
phone
your
is.
phone rings, you have to pick up on air.
I can't. This one I can't. This one I
On
can't.
speaker.
That's
This one I
vibrating,
can't.
so
On
it picks
speaker.
it up. So I turn it off
What?
completely.
now on.
That one I can't.
From here to the future.
It's good news,
Everybody
though.
agree?
I hope this is good news. I hope it's good news.
Okay.
It was a girl named Jennifer.
No, it wasn't.
I couldn't actually read the name. I'm blind. Start with a J, though, I swear.
But anyway, so I think that it doesn't matter who you are. You're funny, and you can do whatever material.
Yes.
So I was glad that see it worked out. But let's talk. So Cobbster, you there?
Hi.
Hey, Cobbster. How's it going? You were at the event?
I was at the event. I don't get out much, so it was nice
Yeah.
going out on the town.
Yeah, it was fun
doing
hanging
things
with
the kids
Cobbster.
do.
Yeah, it was cool, right?
Yeah, it was a great
Good.
night, fun set. I haven't seen Ellis in a long time, so it was great seeing him do new material.
Okay.
I was very excited about that. Jay was great. Never seen Jay before. He was a lot of fun,
Good.
and it's always funny too, like kind of separating someone that you've talked to for a long
Right.
time. Like I feel like Ellis doesn't have that problem just because he's funny all the time. So when I go up there, I'm not just seeing like, Mark Ellis' friend or host or anything. I see the comedian. And
Right.
then when I saw Jay, I was like, am I going to think that? But no, he pulled it off. He was really funny. Candace was funny. I'd never seen T before either. I thought T was great. And then, Roka. Hats off to him.
Right. Well, this is.
Oh, hats off?
But this
For
is
getting
the-
up there.
This is the first thing because I know from what everybody said. Look, this is he. I can already tell you what I assume is the case. You're talking about Candace and T and Jay Washington and Ellis and Josh and Ken. These are people who have been doing
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
stand-up
Josh and
comedy.
Ken were great, too. Yeah.
So, talking about people who've been doing stand-up comedy for a long time
Yeah.
and that are used to it. John Rook has done stand-up 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
So, first of all, he's got balls to go up there.
I'm
80
so
people.
impressed by that.
Yeah, he's 80 people he goes up there to. And I always say this. I say this and I say it's the number one rule. The first year you are doing comedy, it has nothing to do with how funny your set is. It has nothing to do with it. It's all about confidence and learning to be confident on stage and how to maneuver. Because it's one thing to be screaming horseman at a live event. And all the fucking times you play it. All the times you play it. It's not really good.
Sound bites. Huh?
All right, mustache Magoo. So I'm gonna keep that
Somebody.
fucking. Yeah. Somebody.
Look at that.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's one thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Great timing. You should be doing a set yourself.
Beardo stand up just gonna be sound bites.
It is.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's one thing to do that, and as opposed to going in front of 80 people trying to do a set, and he's getting his feet wet. He's basically an open mic comedian right now.
Yeah, and especially he was the first set.
He
But
opened.
was it good at all?
So, Josh and Ken warm up the crowd a little bit.
Yeah.
And he comes out first. Then Roca comes on first.
Do you think that was a dumb
No,
play?
I think that's appropriate. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you put it in terms of if you're a brand new band, you're not going to go up right before the headliner or in the middle of the set. You're going to be the first band to play.
Do you think? Okay, I see your face now. Do you think that was throwing him to the wolves a little bit, or just like he needed somebody before that to kind of keep going?
Yeah, a tad bit. I think I wouldn't have put him up first. But not with a Collider crowd. If it was a crowd that didn't know who he was,
they were laughing. I think they appreciated him being up there.
If it was a crowd that didn't know who he was, then first is definitely a place to go.
I think it would have been worse.
I think that you go, like I think especially hearing how good Jay Washington was, I put Jay up right after Ken and to hit him really hard, and then put Roca up because Roca didn't kill the crowd, right?
No, he didn't kill the crowd.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, he did.
What did he talk about?
Well, go
ahead, Cobbster. Go ahead.
No, look, here's the thing. Again, I don't want to be like incredibly hard on him, but I'm also not going to tell him, that he was amazing. This is his fourth time. He addresses that in the crowd, which I don't think you really need to. I think you just go up there, do your
Ellis
thing.
said not to.
He should never.
I don't think you should address it.
Yeah.
I also think, and again, this is his fourth time, and he knows the audience. He knows it's going to be Collider fans.
Yeah.
I think him going up there with the belts and like I'm the outlaw and all that, like. I get it. I know it's like the Collider fans, but also if like you want to branch out from that, then I think he needs to play to an audience with the assumption that they all don't know him.
Right.
And I think that was my issue with his set. He was under the assumption that everyone knew who he was, and so he kind of just does like, you know what I'm talking about, and like it just doesn't really land. I really only laughed one time during the whole thing.
Do you feel like he prepared for it at all?
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Oh, good.
I think the problem is just his material just
Didn't
wasn't
land.
funny.
It didn't land.
No, I didn't think it was funny.
See, I don't mind him playing to the crowd that knows him because that gives you a crutch to get you comfortable. So that's kind of what I'm talking about is because eventually, I think you're right. I think eventually you got to drop this chick and you have. But in the beginning, you have to do what makes you comfortable. But you start developing. Now, what he needs to do. Cobbster told me there was a line inside of his set that he said there was one line that got Cobbster that made him laugh. Something about Target, right?
Yeah.
Now, and I said, well, what did he do after? Did he develop on it? He said, no, he didn't. That's what a set is. So what you do now, what he needs to do is he needs to analyze that set and say, well, which one hit? And his joke about Target, nobody wants to shit in Target, right? Which is true.
Well, and also I think I don't mean to cut you up, but like there wasn't a whole lot of poking fun at himself either. I think like he kind of opened up with like how big his dick was, and wasn't funny,
right?
And
doesn't make you like him.
No, I think I don't read books on comedy. I'm not a comedian.
What do you mean he
expert.
opened up with how big his dick was?
Yeah.
He opened up.
I don't
want to
tell
his. He kind of just said it. It was kind of like,
said,
yeah,
I
you
have
know,
a
I
big
have a
dick.
big dick. Yeah.
I don't want to tell his whole joke, but
Right.
and he kind of comes back on it and makes fun of himself a little bit, but like the way he comes
he
off
has a big
is,
dick.
Oh,
Okay,
all right. There you go.
No, I don't. Ugh. But
I think that's true, at least.
But anyways,
I mean-
yeah, like I said, like
Oh, Roxy.
props to him for going up there. I think just like and here's the thing too, like he's an actor. He can memorize a script. I think like if he just wrote his jokes down even more, maybe he did do this. I don't know what his preparation was for it. But
Well, I mean, that's again, once you. He now next time he goes up, what he needs to do is go up more than once every 2 months now.
Yeah.
Now that he has anything. Now, have you seen him before?
no, this is the first time.
Have
But
you
from-
seen him before?
No, that was the
All
first
right.
time.
So I wonder if he did, because what he should have done, he should have done bits that he did the last time, and he should have worked on them.
From what I heard, he did do the same. Alex was there as well. I think
Okay.
he said that he did jokes at Comic-Con, and then he did the same here.
But did he change any of it?
That I don't know. Did he change any of it, Alex?
I was pretty intoxicated, so I don't remember.
Right.
No way.
It's an honest
Oh,
answer.
Alex was
God.
all over the place.
I
would
think
love
of
to say
Alex as-
Alex was like,
shit-faced
"Get me
Alex.
up
In
there.
my
I could
mind,
do it."
Alex is ace.
Yeah.
So I thought Alex didn't drink.
Oh, what does a shit-faced Alex do?
Oh, he's just all over the place.
Is he? Have you
Oh
seen-
my
is
god,
he?
he's sloppy. No. He's actually fun. He was. I walk up to him
Wow.
and he's double fisting. He's like, look, I got 2.
But Alex,
Alex,
you
are you of age?
Alex, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Alex weighs like 60 pounds soaking wet with boots
50.
on. Like how many drinks
Wow.
does it take to get you fucked up, Alex?
I'm good with like
3.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's when it goes.
3. All right.
What's your drink? Do you
what
like
are
a
you
sugary
drinking?
thing?
Maker's Straight.
Make her
Nah,
straight. Look at this kid.
Look at that.
Is that
Look at
neat?
that. That's a man after
Oh
me.
my.
Yeah, I like it.
Maker's neat. So no ice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the way you drink
I
whiskey.
like this kid.
Wow.
All right. So you're shithoused.
I don't love Makers, but I like that.
Now, do you
Yeah,
get
make
shithoused
it-
because you know Roka's going up?
I just wanted to have fun.
You just wanted to have fun?
Fuck yeah,
All
man.
right, good for you. All
Wow,
right, so-
I like him so much.
You like him? Okay, because
Yeah,
he
I really
drinks.
do.
That's the thing
Yeah.
too. Like I went up there not like wanting to hate his set. Like
Yeah.
I went up with an open mind. I was like very curious to see how it was going to play out. You know?
Let me
Me
ask
too,
you,
yeah.
do you feel like if he had gone against Brett that he would have made it to Alice's
No.
set?
No.
No, I think Brett would have been.
Brett-
yeah.
Brett falls into the same category that we were talking about with all these other people. Brett is a monster on stage. Brett's a monster.
Here's why I think
I can see
Roka
that.
could actually improve. Right now, you said it. It's the confidence. He goes up
He
there,
has a big dick.
and I'm smiling at my friend, going, "That guy's fucking fearless." I love that about him.
Yeah.
I do. The set, not that great.
Right.
Like it was like there was stuff, but
it's because
comedy was
but
like
that's the
a
point.
little bit.
But if you have confidence,
Yeah.
if you have confidence up there, then you'll be able to develop it.
Yes.
and you'll be able to just maneuver. You just got to find the right stuff. So good for
You
him.
gotta love a yes guy. That's good. Gotta
Good.
leave the dick.
Yeah, good for him.
it is.
Good for him that he
Gotta
got
leave
back.
the dick?
Yeah, I think there was. I don't remember what it's from. You said it.
He's gotta leave the dick.
Yeah.
Huh.
Gotta leave it behind. I don't know.
What has to leave the dick?
I don't remember now. You've been on the show now for like months.
Yeah.
You've said a lot.
I gave my first blowjob in the jungle room.
There it is.
That's true.
And then I had to leave the dick?
And I guess you left it right afterwards.
Huh.
You left it behind.
I mean, otherwise I'd still be there.
and you moved on.
A long time ago.
You moved on.
Love
All right.
this. It's
All right.
true.
Let's. I do want to move on, and I want to talk about. I want to thank, by the way, Paramount over the weekend. Look at this package.
I can't.
Yeah, so
I'm
what do you
so
go-
envious
Yeah.
of.
What is this?
This is amazing. This is amazing. They sent this. This is all stuff that's coming out around the holiday season, and I'm gonna start with this one because this one I'm gonna show my daughter. So wait a minute before you guys go. What are we talking about here? Sherlock Gnomes. So I've not seen yet. All right, Sherlock Gnomes.
Don't need to. I don't want to see it.
Stop it. I want to see it
no, the
because
camera's that way.
I'm gonna watch it.
There it is.
with my daughter. That's Sherlock.
Oh,
That's
she'll love it.
That's for the
Can
family.
you watch it with both or no?
Not yet.
We're still on the can't watch
Not yet.
movies.
Look at this. This is not from them. That's from somebody else.
What was it?
It's another company.
Great.
Scrooged. Great
That's
comedy,
great.
classic
Richard
comedy.
Donner.
Can you watch that with your daughter?
No, not yet. Scrooged is out, so that's a good holiday thing. I'm loving this Paramount package. Check this out. Now, this one came out. I actually really want to see Book Club.
Yeah. Grammy
Did you see
really
it?
wants to see it.
No.
I haven't seen it yet.
That's something to watch with
I've
your
heard
mother.
really good
My mom
things.
love
loved
it.
that movie.
I've heard really good things.
Love
But
that
the two that I don't even know which one to take first because they're so,
I want
they're so
both
good.
of
The
those.
one on the right.
In
The one on the right first?
biggest
Yeah.
way.
And all right, do you think so? The headliner is
Yeah,
this one?
I think so.
I think you're right. The Indiana Jones complete set
I
is
mean,
out now.
come
First
on.
time ever. All 4 movies on Blu-ray. It's amazing.
All 4.
Yeah,
There's
I know.
4?
I know.
I know.
And I think that's why it's not.
a lot.
I think
It's
that's why it's not
misprint.
the headliner. But I'll tell you, I got this, and I said to myself, I will probably punish myself and watch the 4th one. But
moments.
I can't. Raiders of the Lost Ark is easily in my top 10 of all time.
Mine too.
Easily.
It's a perfect movie.
I love it. It's so it probably is my number 1 Spielberg movie. I was so upset
Really?
when like again, I'm not getting this whole argument, but the younger generation, you included, probably would probably put Jurassic Park over Raiders, which I think is lunacy.
I didn't put Jurassic Park over Raiders, but I did put Schindler's List over Raiders.
As far as an overall,
You know what? Yeah, that's-
Yeah.
as an overall like it's filmmaking.
I think
goes,
it's how it affects you. You know what I mean?
Yes, but Schindler's List is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a full-on masterpiece. I mean, they're made for 2 specifically different reasons. As far as, and I've said this before, and I get pushback on it. And some people agree with what I'm saying. Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark is a perfect movie.
Thank you.
Schindler's List is a perfect film,
Yeah.
and
Just different.
it is different.
Jurassic is pretty great. It's pretty amazing.
It's great.
It's-
It's great,
it's
but
really
I can't.
good.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost
hear
Ark
you.
is one of the greatest movies of all time. Action, adventure, perfect movie.
Perfect adventure
Right.
movie. All right, now finally,
This one's great.
This is the headliner.
Yeah, I think so too.
The entire set of The Godfather. Look at this package.
And what is that? Is it there's like a book in there?
Yeah, it's like a golden book. This is the
the
Godfather
script?
trilogy, the Omerta edition.
Can you open it right now or no? You don't want it.
I want that so much.
I don't want to.
Is it open like pages?
I don't know. It's limited edition. There's only 45,000 of these.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
How come you get them?
They like me.
Huh.
They like me because I talk about them and I tell people.
Let me
about
just.
I like
get a
them.
look at
I'll
that
tell
just
people.
real quick.
them. Yeah, I like them.
How do you think? Wow.
Indiana Jones is the one that I'm really looking forward to. I mean, I'm looking forward to watching all this stuff too. But like Indiana Jones, and I do the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Eventually, I'm going to be able to watch it with my daughter. She really wants to watch it. I can't watch it yet.
Why? What's the age?
I think 9 or 10
Do
for
you
the
have
first one.
other parents that you call and ask that to, or do you Google it or something?
No, it's your preference.
Well,
I mean,
Raiders. I mean, there's a lot of scary stuff in that.
Well, I was talking to that kid. This kid. There's another movie. I want to talk about a bunch of the movies that I saw. I saw so many movies over the last like 4 days. I saw a shit ton. One of them that I saw was mid-90s. Right.
So good.
And I just had that kid. So that kid, Sonny. How do you pronounce his last name? So Jarek. Guys,
I
boys.
don't know.
D?
The one.
Just bring it up.
The one that was
Sonny.
also in a clock with
Yes,
the
and he was
walls
also
and its
in
eyes.
Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Yeah.
And so he's going to be my guest on One this week. And I had him.
STFU.
Yeah, I just had him on. We sat
He's
where
gonna
you're
end
sitting
up
right
being
now.
so cute as an adult.
He's great. And so was I close here? There he is. Sonny. So probably not. Yeah.
I don't know.
Just click on it. Soldier. Yeah, Sonny Soldier.
Soldier?
Yeah. I said Soldier. I was wrong. Sorry. So anyway, I sat there with this kid and I was talking to him. And midnight. Where were we starting with that? Because I had somewhere I was going with that. You asked
But
me a
he's coming
question.
on one-on-one.
Yeah, but there's something before that. How we got into all this.
You said
All
I
the
want to talk about a
movies
lot
you've
of
seen.
movies. Mid-90s.
Well, all right, let's talk about that one. I saw
Skateboarding.
So I saw mid-90s, and I really. You saw the movie as well.
Yeah.
I really liked it a lot.
That was
Jonah
the one with the
Hill.
two people in front of me.
Oh, right. And I saw it, and Jonah Hill does a great job directing this movie. But this kid is the star of it for sure. And I also like the kid that played Ray.
Yeah.
This is a movie.
He was great.
This-
Everybody. I mean, but this kid Sonny's a breakout star. He's going to be huge.
Agreed. This one lived up to the hype.
Yeah.
You know, what movie didn't live up to the hype all the way because it got pushed to me like it was going to be this huge, great movie, and I liked it, but I didn't
nervous.
love it. Leave No Trace.
I haven't seen it yet.
Thought it was good.
Really, every
I haven't
guest that's
seen it
come on the
either.
show has said, you've got to see it, you've got to see it.
And performance-wise, yeah, but it goes nowhere.
Ben Foster, right?
Yeah, and he's great. I love Ben Foster, and the
It's
little
the
girl's
director
great.
of Winter's Bone, right?
Yeah.
And the performances themselves are really good, but like it just like they just kind of go from from one thing to the next. Like they're staying here, then they're in the woods, then they go meet this other place. Now they're going to be somewhere else in the woods, and nothing really happens. And then there's one part where Ben Foster, we see it in the trailer that he's this troubled vet, and we never really learn
Anything about him?
why. And I can't stand the thing of like, well, you're just kind of like supposed to figure it out. Now tell me why he's all fucked up. Like,
Is there any part of it that you feel like should be Oscar nominated?
Yeah, I think the girl could get a nomination for
Supporting?
best supporting. I thought she was great. Ben Foster didn't say much. He's an incredible actor, but he doesn't say much. And there were things
Screenplay? Original? No?
yeah, I liked it. I liked the movie. I was expecting, like when I heard Hell or High Water, right? So, the Ben Foster movie. I had heard these things about Hell or High Water, like you got to see this. I'm like, what the hell is it? You got to see Hell or High Water. That movie kicked my ass. I loved Hell or High Water. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I really liked it.
Loved that movie. I
That's
saw
one
it
of the
twice in
best.
the theater. I
Yeah, it
loved
was
it so
really
much.
good.
I was hoping that's what this movie was, and it was not that.
I had one of those this week, too.
Of a movie that you thought was great, but it was just okay.
Everybody's been talking about it for years. I'd never seen it. Everybody wanted me to see it. Ben was begging
What you
me to
got?
watch it. Michael Clayton. It was...
With George Clooney?
Yeah.
George Clooney, Tilda Swinton won the Oscar.
It's the first movie I ever saw in the theater with my wife.
It was totally good.
It was fine.
Yeah, it's
I'm the
good.
same way with you.
He was like, this movie's going to blow your mind.
Really?
Yeah. George Clooney's best by far.
I
Tilda
see,
Swinton's
up in the air.
unreal.
Up in the air. is George
Clearly
Clooney's
hasn't
best.
seen Batman and Robin.
True. Badass.
He's George Clooney's
Well, that
best.
was
Speaking
one.
my
So
language.
I saw.
Peacemaker, I would say.
So I saw that one.
I think you're on my
Now there's another. I saw a couple other movies though, Rox. I saw.
Yeah, what'd you get?
The Kindergarten Teacher. With
I
Maggie
only saw 8th
Gyllenhaal.
grade. I didn't see Kindergarten Teacher.
So
A lot
it's
of
with
school
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
things.
She's a fucking weirdo in that movie, but it's good. And she's really good in it too.
You like her typically?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
I'm 50-50 on her.
I find her annoying sometimes, and other times I find her to be riveting. This one was a little bit in between, but it was a character that was more annoying than she was.
Okay.
So still, that one's on Netflix. You guys can check it out.
Really?
Yeah. Watch Colette.
Colette, how
Hey, I've
is
heard
that?
great things.
I've heard really good
I didn't
things.
realize it was a true story. It made the movie that much better.
Oh,
after I read
really?
it. And I'm a huge Dominic, not Cooper, Dominic West fan.
Dominic West.
From The Wire and The Affair.
He's great.
Really big fan of his. I thought he is the star of this movie. I mean, Keira Knightley is really good, but he crushes it. And so it's a true story.
Is he love interest in it? Or?
It's her husband who, this is back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and he is this kind of publisher / writer who he's like a womanizer, and he winds up marrying Keira Knightley. They get married. He still kind of keeps on his philandering ways, but then he realizes.
Does that mean he's a cheater?
Yeah, and then he realizes that she basically tells him, cut the shit. Let's do this together. And he actually one time he actually starts ghostwriting. It's very similar to kind of what the wife, if you saw The Wife with Glenn Close.
Yeah.
But this is a true story. She starts ghostwriting, and comes up with the surname of Colette, and they start writing these really popular. I mean, think about it. Like back then, she's writing the Avengers movies. You know, it's like she's becoming. These things are huge, and they're like the big
like
properties.
What are some of them?
It's just romance novels and things. The things that happen to her, but in her life, and then she takes a lot of those true experiences, and then it's just the evolution of her. But she's into the women, and this is in the early 1900s. To where I didn't realize in France, right? And I didn't realize that until the end of the movie that it was a true story. So at my point, I'm like, I don't know if they would. This seems a little, today, and then all this shit happened, and I'm like, that's crazy. That the majority of things. So it became,
isn't that crazy when making it a true story actually makes you like the movie because you're like somebody didn't just F this up.
You think about the time it's in, and what the politics of the world, and what is risky.
That's what I thought it was because when I was watching it, and I'm all for a message and social messages and everything too, but I was like, if they're just taking something that possibly couldn't happen back then, just to tell messages today.
Did you say 1800s?
Late 1800s, like the turn of the century.
How do they know? That's what I always think is so
documented
unbelievable.
through. I mean, she's a writer. There's document because there's a lot of stuff that she wrote, and there's still photos. There's photos of stuff with her, and she wound up living with this woman afterwards, who they document in the movie. And it's funny because at the very end of it, my wife and I were like, yeah, we liked it. Right, and then the stuff comes up at the end telling you what happened. We're like, holy shit, this is a true story. And then as we saw that, we both turned to each other. We liked it that much more.
Yeah,
that much more because it took away the problems I had with the movie, the believability of it. Well, shut up, stupid, because it's true.
Yeah.
And so I think that part of it made me like. That's probably the one I think I liked the best that I watched. Did I tell about what they had? There's the one with Hilary Swank and Michael Shannon.
Oh, I think you actually
I did
talked
a review
little
of
bit
it,
about
but
it.
it's like that one was okay. People gave that a bigger.
I hear
review than I am.
she's amazing, and that's why the movie is good.
She's really good in it for sure, and I like Michael Shannon. I just think that Blythe Danner, who plays the mom, when I think about Still Alice.
I loved that movie.
I love that movie, and I thought that you got a chance to see what Julianne Moore was like before Alzheimer's kind of really kicked in. This one just kind of starts with her all.
It's an Alzheimer's story.
Yes, and it's more of a family story, how to cope with it and deal with it. Robert Forster is the husband, and he's in denial, and it's fine. The movie's fine. Then I watched last night Disobedience with.
Which one's that? Yeah.
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz and
you're
and
talking about
Rachel McAdams. Cool
The
movie.
Rachels.
Cool movie. Graphic. This is a graphic sex scene, ladies
Not
and
showing
gentlemen.
it to your daughter.
No, I didn't even wanted to show to my wife. But it was like we were watching because the movie is about. So I think it's a Hasidic community. I'm not the best when it comes to that, but it feel like it was right.
Did they have pass?
Yeah.
Were they wearing hats?
You know better than I. Can we bring up the synopsis of it, of Disobedience, please? But so Rachel Weisz she has been left this community for a long time, and her dad New York photographer Ronit Krushka flies to London after
They're
learning
Orthodox Jews.
Orthodox Jews. Okay, they shunned her for decades for her childhood attraction to Esty, who was a female friend played by Rachel McAdams. So they had this whole thing, and then she left. She became this photographer in New York.
Did you see the young versions of them?
No, you don't. You just she gets a phone call, and you don't know, basically telling her that it's that her dad's gone, and nobody can believe that she came back. And so it turns out that Esty, who's played by Rachel McAdams, is now married. Her father's like #1 protege student, right? But to where Ronit, played by Rachel Weisz, is just like, what? Basically, you like women. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
And then they wind up having this really spicy relationship, right? But it's risky because she doesn't know. Rachel McAdams doesn't know what to do. She's a teacher. She's been in this thing. It's a powerful
Is it
movie.
modern day or where's it set?
Yeah, it's in London.
Okay.
And
Was there like takeaway from it?
I mean, it's a power. It's about freedom. It's about freedom, emotionally, freedom, sexually, freedom in general, and not just men or women, just freedom in general.
But
right?
did it leave you with an opinion on the culture and the society, or,
I have
or was
my
it
own,
making a commentary?
No, I think that it's just a matter of how you perceive things. I tend to side with the side of Rachel Weisz's character, to where in general, we talked about this last time with organized religion and everything too. I understand why it exists. I understand how people rely on it and certain beliefs that they have. And I think I said it on the air. I have no idea if I did or not. I just really started to see myself more, and not as a I don't know what the hell's out there. I don't know what's out there. I'm more agnostic than anything
Talking about
else.
aliens?
I don't know. I mean, it's almost.
Because I feel you, man.
I'm talking about
I've seen
spiritually, right? So, but I just think it's just hard for me to really get behind everything that organized religion does for me personally.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say you shouldn't follow that because what the hell do I know? I'm just again agnostic to where I don't know. The joke could be on me, right? And then everybody who's prepping and doing everything that the way that they're doing, whether it's Catholicism, Judaism, whatever it is, that they were right and everybody else was wrong.
So I think every time I see one of those signs saying Jesus is coming back, I'm like, let him.
Right.
Let's see what that does.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
But that's my point. Is that like it's naive for me to say, well, you're wrong because he's not coming back. How the hell do I know? I don't know. But
Right.
but the thing is too, I don't take to that. So I really related to Rachel Weisz when she was coming back and it's like she just wants to go and do her thing in New York. She wants to be a photographer. She doesn't want to follow this stuff too. And it's just what she likes women, so they told her to get the fuck out of there. And it's and she wants to come back and grieve her dad and everybody who's kind of being jerks to her.
Yeah.
So, but there is and I don't understand it. I mean, I understand it, but there's a very graphic scene between the two of them. It's like, and my wife, when we're watching a movie, like if something, she'll be like, "Wow, that's graphic." Right, and
you think they were going for shock factor?
I don't know. I mean, it was intense. They're going for intensity. They're going for pure like release.
And they accomplished that.
They accomplished that and then some. I mean, you saw it was pent up sexuality that just explodes, and both the ladies went for it.
There it is.
It didn't feel like
Was it
gratuitous.
R-rated?
I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I mean, maybe
you would
because there is.
think the way you're describing
Can
it.
you guys let me know?
Yeah, let's see what it's rated. I don't know. I mean, it's
Like, did you see
you do see
boobs and bush?
no bush, but you see boobs a couple of times. What is it? What's it rated? Just put rating for disobedience. Just
I wonder what it would do to John Rocco's big penis.
there we go. That's what we're talking about here. Look, that's also
Hashtag that's the show.
Yeah. Well, I guess so.
What's it rated? I can't say.
we can't find it.
7.25 or rated R. It's rated R.
Oh.
All right. But anyway, so I saw all those movies. Saw a lot. I'm gonna be doing a lot of those, all the straight up reviews on the Schmoedown channel. But what else did I see? I think everything else. What time is it? It's 10:49. We're going to be talking about some news in a little bit. But Adi Shankar, producer, director, is going to be on the show. I haven't spoken to him unless he was on Schmoes. He's always kind of polarizing. I enjoy talking to him. I think that
How'd you meet him? From Schmoes?
So the late great John Schnepp interviewed him. I actually known of him for a long time. He's done produced some great short films. The Punisher short film with Thomas Jane he did. He produced that Power Rangers thing with with friend of the show, Katie Sackhoff.
Bootleg universe is what they call it.
Yeah,
it's really great.
He's done that stuff. And then he came into Schmoes to do an interview, and I found the interview fascinating. And to be completely honest, his interview ultimately changed my whole direction and dynamic of what I wanted to do with the show, and I think became the evolution of what this show is. Because I think that the Schmoes No Show was so great for what it was for those many years, but it needed to evolve, especially when it came to interviews. And I think that he was like where we had to go with that show. We had to move. We couldn't talk to him for that long. So we had to, if you watch, I got to talk to him for a little bit, and then we had to shuffle on. And I was like, fuck, I just want to sit down and talk to people. And I think that's also where One-on-One came from. And it was because of that interview. So I want to see what he's going on. I think Castlevania Season 3.
Yeah, premiered on Friday. So I know he wanted to come in and talk about that. He reached out to me, and I said, absolutely. Let's see what you've been going on. So what's been going on with you? So he's coming in. We're going to talk to him. Tomorrow, I'm not here tomorrow. Because it's a personal day for me tomorrow. I'm taking off, but God bless you.
You don't say what it is?
I don't know.
I mean, we know. I mean,
talk about it when I get back. We'll figure it out. All right. But Jim Cummings, the great Jim Cummings, voice of Winnie the Pooh, is going to be here, and I'm very upset that I won't be here.
Yeah,
I'm sure that he's going to be doing that many times over. So he'll be here, and we're going to have Ellis. Ellis will be hosting the show, and Jim Cummings will be on Wednesday.
I'm not trusted.
You're not trusted to host?
Yeah.
You're co-hosting, Roxy.
Yeah, you'll be here to throw some bombs.
Don't say it like that.
You put yourself down. You said you're like
it was a joke.
Can't be trusted. Oh,
it was a joke.
I bought it.
Apparently, I need to work on my.
You got to work on your tight six.
And then just stop bringing up Broca's dick, please.
Yes.
Please stop that.
Yes.
Can't help it.
Matthew,
it's in my head.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because also I'm just thinking about like what it looks like. Like, did he talk?
All right, cut your mic off. Going to break.
Talk to you guys about
Going
like,
to break?
the way that it curves or anything. Because I'm picturing it.
Are you fascinated by that kind of
stuff?
stuff?
Yeah. I mean, he's like the most. He comes in and all this stuff. Like he's got to have a big penis, otherwise he wouldn't act the way that he acts.
I don't know if that necessarily is true. Sometimes it's the opposite.
Do you just believe it when a guy says, "You know what? I have a really big dick"? And
not
you just
not every guy, but him.
Okay, because it'll be with the personality. Has to back it up. Like there's a lot of
There's
confidence.
just something about him that's like, yeah, he obviously has a big penis, which is like I would say if I didn't think so.
Right.
I know all of your penis sizes.
I don't think you do.
I do.
All right.
Good lord.
So movie news.
Now one-on-one is going to be even more interesting. So we get to Matthew Lillard is going to be on it. Cobbster's going to lose his mind on that.
Scoob! Isn't it perfect that we have Matthew Lillard from Scream on Halloween?
That is actually great.
Wednesday's Halloween?
Wednesday is Halloween.
I mean, if you ask Cobbster, he's probably going to make us.
Please dress up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I took my daughter yesterday to at her school, they call it the Halloween Hoot. Right?
Love a good hoot.
They dress up the whole school. And there's like there's rides and there's games and things that you play.
That face makeup you showed me?
Yeah. So she did the go through the obstacle course. It's like a American Ninja Warrior for kids type thing, right?
But she crushed that.
She was great at it. Well, we're leaving, and she wants to do the haunted house.
Oh.
And there's a haunted house in there. So we're waiting on this line. It was a long thing because that was like the thing to do. And it was like a Knott's Berry Farm type thing, right? They bring in, they go at it. And they turn the whole cafeteria into like this.
Is it private school?
No.
Damn.
And this,
it's a lot of money to put into the kids' Halloween.
The whole point is to raise money for the school with all this stuff. So you get tickets to go in. Right?
Okay.
So, and it was great. I love this school. I think that it is a absolute wonderful school, and they really care for the kids, and we're on the line. And so my daughter is curious. She's in my mind, I think she's picturing like Charlie Brown type of haunted house, right, for the kids. So we're going around the side, and then this woman and the family right in front of us, this woman, very nice family with these kids, and she turns and she says to my daughter, she goes, we don't see anybody coming out, so we don't know if we're going to get out. And my daughter looks at her and goes, "Don't scare me," right? And the woman's like, "Oh," and then my daughter starts freaking out. She's like, "Are we not going to come out?" And I was like, "No, we'll be fine." She's just cool. It's fun to be scared.
So you don't play into it? You're not like, no, you're never coming out.
Not for that.
You do little reminders.
Not
here
for
and
that,
there, right?
because I could tell she's starting to freak out.
Actually nervous.
So as we're getting closer, she's like, and we go through, and the hallway's dark. It's really a production. So people start jumping out, and my daughter's like, "Fuck this!" Right? She wants out. So I'm like, just hang in there. It's all make believe. Don't worry. So the door opens up. And here's this guy with blood all over himself, and he's working on Frankenstein. And he's really in character, and I'm like, all right. And I feel my daughter's heart pounding.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so she looks up to me. She goes, "Let's go."
And she's like, I'm done.
How do you turn around? You can't.
We walked right out the way we
Really?
were. There was no telling her you can't go that way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Running people over to get out. And
There's a Vivian-shaped hole out the side.
Yeah, I'm telling you, she wants Star Wars. She wants Harry Potter. She does not want horror stuff. She's my daughter completely.
I'm such a wimp with that stuff too.
doesn't want
I
it.
totally feel her.
She gave it a shot. She was thinking that it was, going to be more of like,
Charlie Brown
type
point,
stuff.
yeah.
And this was not Charlie Brown. It was a very well done production. But anyway,
Wow, sounds like fun.
That was my day. Yeah. So tomorrow we're gone. We're out of here. Good show today, guys. We're out. I'm kidding. All right, so we're gonna go to break, and when we go to break, I just wanted to.
And we're not gone
You're
tomorrow.
not
You're
gonna-
gone
you're
tomorrow.
gone.
I know.
We're still
I said
on.
it was
You don't want
everybody.
people to watch while you're
I
gone?
don't want anyone to watch. I'm a selfish fuck.
You're not coming in, but Jim Cummings
I'm kidding.
is coming in.
That's right. Jim Cummings will
He's
be
coming.
in here. He will be here, and that will be a good show. But we're going to go to break. When we get back, we will find out what the hell's going on in the world of movie news. Did anything happen whatsoever? And this FilmStruck. It was a great thing. What the hell happened?
Yeah.
We'll get back after the break.
Hello there. No, it's not late to the party. That's actually from Obi-Wan Kenobi. You didn't know that? Well, you should, and now you do. Jedi Council. What is it? It's about Star Wars, obviously. It's Jedi Council. Every week, the latest and greatest in Star Wars movie news. Myself and Ken Knapsack, that's right, the pit boss himself. We have a guest on, and we talk about everything happening in the world of Star Wars. If it's the movie news, the TV news, canon news, comic books, games. And then we take questions from you guys on Facebook and Twitter. It's a lot of fun. We've been doing it for a couple of years now. I'm still excited talking about it. The fan base is coming together again. I believe it is. I think it is. I hope it is. And we're talking Star Wars, so we'd like you. That's right. All of you. If you're not a fan of Star Wars, come on over and join us every Thursday for Collider Jedi Council here on Collider Video. And we have an Apple Podcast feed or Podcast One, wherever you want to go if you listen to podcasts. And not only do you get Collider Jedi Council every week on Thursday, The Rule of Two with Mark Fernandez and Mark Reilly, that's on every week. I believe it drops on Wednesday. It's on one of these days. It's a good show. You should listen to it. I like it. I listen to it. I haven't listened to it once.
Hey everyone, Mark Ellis here. You know, when I'm not trying to clone dinosaurs or drinking at my neighborhood watering hole, I am probably hosting Collider Movie Talk. It's a flagship show here at Collider. I like to say that because I'm the host of it. It's every day, almost. It's 4 days a week, which is still pretty good, above 50%. You can watch it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 4 p.m. Los Angeles time is when we do it. It's live, so you can participate in the live chat room. Go ahead and give us your thoughts on every story we have coming because it's all the latest movie news of the day. Who did what at the box office? What horrible Redbox movies Bruce Willis signed on to? The DC, the Marvel, the Star Warses, the Lord of the Rings. Are they making new? I think it's a TV show, and we still might talk about it anyway because we love movies around here. It's myself and an expert panel of guests, including John Roca, Perry Nemiroff, Jeff Snyder, and other noted noters of note. You guys are going to love this show, and then we take your live Twitter questions at the end of the show at Collider Video. You can always use the hashtag Collider Movie Talk to get in touch with us, so subscribe right here to Collider Video. Check out Movie Talk, and check out the Collider Movie Talk podcast feed. We have a podcast feed now. You don't have to look at this handsomeness. You can just listen to it, whether you're driving to work, whether you're driving from work, or you don't have a job, but you have a basement and ears. You can listen to Collider Movie Talk's feed. You can get it at Apple Podcasts or on iTunes. You also get Mailbag. That's the show that's hosted by Perry Nemiroff a lot more professionally than I run this pirate ship. That's our weekend show where she takes your letters. I don't know if you write them or you email them. You have to ask her. And Afterthoughts, hosted by Ryan Snelling and Jay Williams. I almost said Ryan Williams and Jay Snelling. Would anybody have known the difference? I certainly would. I would have felt bad about it because I'm a nice person, and that's why I host Collider Movie Talk. Check it out in video form or on our podcast feed.
Hi there. I see that you're enjoying Collider Live. After this show, why not check out Collider Games, where we play, well, games. We review games, we talk about things, anything that's going on in the gaming world, our opinions, news, all kinds of stuff. So check it out. If you like it, stick around and subscribe.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, one of the hosts for Collider Sports Time. That's our new show there on the Collider Sports Network. It's our flagship show, just like Collider Movie Talk. We get on, talk about a bunch of sports issues of the day and what is burning up social media, what topics are burning up social media. That's what we do on Collider Sports Time. I'm joined by my top 10 co-host, Matt Nost. Me and him, we welcome a bevy of guests every week to talk about NFL, the Major League Baseball playoffs, NHL, and the NBA, which is starting up soon. We're going to talk about that. We also get into UFC stuff, college football, all the stuff that's happening in the world of sports. We're going to cover it on Collider Sports Time. And we're going to take the time to break it all down and give our opinions and our unique takes and unfiltered thoughts on what we think about the sports news of the day. So don't forget to join us every week on Monday for the Collider Sports Time show on the Collider Sports Network. And don't forget to subscribe on the Collider Sports Network on YouTube and on the Collider Sports podcast feed. We're going to bring you all kinds of stuff. Hope to hear from you soon.
Hey everyone, I'm Scott Movie Manson. Just to let you know, if you already don't, every Friday here on Collider Video, I host a weekly film review series called Movie Review Talk. The title says it all. Every week I'm joined by two guest critics of my choice, and they're never the same. We review the new films. We pick something that's streaming that you might not know about, but is really great. And we pick a Blu-ray for something that you might have missed in theaters. It is fun. It is infectious. It is the Citizen Kane of movie review shows, and it's only right here on Collider with this guy, Scott Movie Mance, Mr. Movie Release Dates himself. Check it out every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, only on Collider Video.
What's going on, everybody? We're back. It's
What is this?
it's from Drive.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you like Drive?
A lot.
Yeah, I need to see it
And I
again.
listen to this all the effing time. I can't believe I just asked that.
I need to see it again. What's up, everybody? We're back. It is Collider Live. It is Monday morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Roxy Striar, Mark Reilly, myself, the whole Wanger crew hanging out. And, we have Adi Shankar coming in at the 11:30, and we're going to be talking to him about his new Season 3 of Castlevania, which hits on Netflix. Is it Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
Season 2?
Yeah.
Season 2? Oh, I thought Season 3. Okay.
No, Season 2.
Season 2, thank you.
You're just being preemptive, you know?
Yeah. Season 2, sorry. And Jeff Snyder's going to come in also because apparently Adi has a scoop for us.
Oh, he does.
Apparently he does. We'll see. We'll see. But maybe not. I wanted to ask you, before we get into the FilmStruck news, so you said that we had some good news coming.
Yeah, some good news. John Williams was in the hospital. He went to London. He was going to do a big concert, and then he fell ill, and a lot of us were really worried, you know. He's up there. But he's recovered, and he's well, and he's doing well. So
the man's 86 years old.
I believe he's in his 90s.
No, he's not. He's around 86 or 87.
Let's see.
And he is still. He's the thing with John.
You're right.
I know.
86 years.
No, he's not. If you weren't right, you would have been a douche. So I'm glad you're right.
I know I was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we just talked about it on Jedi Council.
For some reason, I thought he was 90.
No, well,
Yeah,
I mean,
There-
look, you round it out. He is.
Yeah.
There is
1932.
such a difference between mid 80s and 90s, I've learned. It's very different.
Because at that point, it's like the years really tack on. And the thing is, too, like he's 86 years old. He is working a lot. I think he needs a rest.
Yeah.
I think he needs a rest.
Well, there's kind of two sides to that coin, as there are to all coins. Yes, maybe he needs a rest, but what are you living for if it's not to do what you love?
And I understand that. I understand that for sure. But I believe his wife is still with us. Is that you?
I don't.
I believe she is, and I think that they look. If he wants to do it, and you're absolutely right. You want to go out until the day that he goes, and hopefully that's in 10 to 15 years from now. Right?
Betty White.
Right. It's still doing what you love, and you can do it. And you're 100% right that you should. I guess because he is the god of musical scores, and you just I want him to be around for as long as humanly possible.
And I think another thing that you mean when you say that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that what should happen is if he does take arrest, everybody should be okay with it. Like you're supportive of the option of arrest as a fan.
100%. That's exactly right. Yeah. I just think that, because episode 9's coming around, everyone's like, oh, he's got to do it. It's just like, let him do whatever he wants to do.
He doesn't got to do anything.
Let him do what he wants to do. He's earned it off if he wants it off. That's what I'm saying. He performs every year at the Hollywood Bowl. He's doing
without fail.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
have you guys gone?
Yeah. I've been about 3 or 4 times. You should go
if he does it again this year.
I want to.
And 2 different concerts. But I'll tell you one thing though too, and this is no disrespect to John Williams, because I loved everything. But if I had a chance, if someone said to me, you can only see John Williams, because I've already seen John Williams. If you can only see John Williams again, or Hans Zimmer, I'm taking Hans Zimmer. That dude, what a rock concert! And he's also 30 or 25, 30 years younger than John Williams, but like. What a rock concert he put on, and I would like to see it. I saw it at where is it? I forget where it was. The USC. Palladium? Is the USC right around there?
Shrine. The Shrine Auditorium. That's very.
Hey, I lived on Shrine Place when I was in college.
So did I.
Really?
Yeah.
Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that
Habitat
theater.
Susie.
Whoa! I know exactly what that is. I was right across the street.
Do you like that theater? You sit there like this.
No, I don't. I don't like that theater. That theater's been. It's very old. It needs an upgrade. It is. It's very like you can barely fit in the seats now.
I like to
now
see
it's
Hans
only
Zimmer.
for raves, pretty much.
Yeah, like Hans Zimmer.
Because you want to be like touching people and sweaty and ecstasy and stuff.
I went with Dorina when we went, and Dorina, Aaron Wilhelm, who cuts the Schmoedown, and Wendy when we went, and man, he knocked it. He was so good.
That's awesome.
So good. But anyway, the point is John Williams is good. He was recovered. So get well, Mr. Williams, and we will. Obviously, we will love to see whatever it is that
we support you in all your future endeavors.
Right. Now the other thing was. Reilly texted me last night and he said, "Hey, do you want to talk about this FilmStruck thing?" I said, "I have no idea what it is. I have no idea what's happening. I know what FilmStruck is, but I have no idea what's happening with FilmStruck." Give us a full breakdown here, Reilly. What the hell's going on with FilmStruck?
Well, FilmStruck was a streaming service for all classics, and they did, Alicia Malone, Amy Rose, Eisenbach, all worked for this company, doing shows, producing, and FilmStruck was canceled. Essentially, they're pulling it. And the conversation that started really is that nobody's watching classic movies anymore.
Yeah.
And that is the classic movie dead. And it's, the article on Collider is like everything is terrible. FilmStruck to shut down next month. And it's like because of all these streaming services
was that
competing.
Me?
What was that?
Ooh.
Is that mic on with you guys again? Beardo, are you leaving your mic?
No, that was you guys.
No.
None of our mics are on.
That time it was, but I still hear.
Was it you?
That was definitely me, but I'm not what I'm talking about.
Was that a burp or something?
It
was the bubbles inside.
Oh my God.
I just started to scream.
That's how I burp, because nothing comes out, so it just, I thought that was me.
It just kind of escapes.
Yeah.
Not important. Keep going, Reilly. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, anyways. So there it is. The conversation is is it dead? Because we have all these streaming services now that are competing for your dollar.
Right.
Hulu, Netflix, we're getting the Disney, we're getting the DC, there's so many fucking streaming services. This is the first casualty. And it's because nobody's really watching the classic movies anymore, or what?
It's not the high demand of what people want to spend their money on.
Right. And so you have your film purists that are going like, damn it, like why? And it's
a loss of money for the company.
Look at the landscape. And so they point to superhero movies and Star Wars and all this kind of stuff as taking all the attention.
Let's use our channel as a comparison.
Yeah.
Right? When we put out a review of Avengers Infinity War, 200, 300,000 views.
Right.
You put it. If I put up a review of It's All About Nina, 5,000 views.
Yeah.
Now, that's not necessarily a classic film, but you see what I'm saying. The small people's interest, they don't know what it is, and it's that thing is the casual fan. They don't know what it is. They don't care. If they know what it is, they want to watch it. Now, as in the case of classics, you can catch a movie classic that either go get it on Blu-ray or you can watch it if it pops up on TBS or something though too. Why do I want to pay for it to see it? And that's probably what I think a lot of the younger audience is thinking.
Yeah, I agree. And also remember, keep in mind, what was Netflix before it had House of Cards? was going to be able to sustain itself like that.
Right.
What was DC? Nobody was getting the DC streaming service until Titans launched.
Right.
Everybody was waiting for their original content. With all of these apps,
indie theaters can't stay open.
When you have the ability to keep creating new product, then people want to be the first one to see something.
Yeah. We're also a celebrity-driven culture. We like our royalty, our celebrities. One way or another, I'm not telling you have to like the celebrities, but we're a celebrity-driven culture, right? So when big celebrities, and what I mean by that is, so when you see the big movies that you know, the Avengers title in itself, Star Wars in its title itself is a celebrity, right? If you look at it, as far as this analogy goes, because when you look at it, it is a popular thing that people know. If it's these smaller things, unless it's marketed very well, or unless it has a big, huge celebrity on it, and that doesn't always sell shit either way, it's hard to get people interested and have people care. Like, perfect example is this movie of Leave No Trace, right? Now, I had never even heard of the movie. I'm in this business. Okay, I never heard of the movie, probably, and I'm sure that it's come up. I'm sure I got a screening for it, and I missed it. But it was because of Jay Williams, because of a show done here, and then Jason Isaacs that I went back to listen to it, and two people that I respect their opinions, and said, okay,
same exact thing,
and let's go and check it out. But now, even if I missed talking about it here, everything too, the point is, I should have there should have been more about it. Not that it was a huge movie, but if you want more and more people to learn, the marketing's not behind those movies.
Right. It's got a big actor in it.
Right.
A big actor in it.
But those things live now on streaming. These things live, like a lot of these movies live on streaming. Now, I heard Jay Williams' take over the weekend that there are certain movies that just shouldn't be in movie theaters. And I think every movie should give a shot to be in movie theaters, but your budget shouldn't be directed at those things. Like Silence, by the way, Scorsese film. Amazing movie.
Yeah.
Crapped out in the theater. I think it would have been a great movie to stream.
Yeah, and you got a Star Wars actor in there.
So Leave No Trace debuted at Sundance. Okay, worldwide it made $6 million. Okay.
What was the budget?
It's not available. But go back to the thing about FilmStruck, guys, that you had. So here's when you go to FilmStruck's site now. It says, regret to inform you that FilmStruck will be shutting down. Our last day of service will be November 29, 2018. We are currently no longer enrolling any new subscribers. All current FilmStruck subscribers will receive an email with details about your account, and the refund process is applicable. Please see the options below, blah, 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 blah. We would like to thank our many fans and loyal customers who supported us. FilmStruck was truly a labor of love in a world with an abundance of entertainment options. Thank you for choosing us. That says it at the end.
Yep, right there.
That there's an abundance of entertainment options, and that's not the first thing you think of. Like, I love classic films. I have no need to have a streaming service. If there's an old movie that I really want, I'll look for it on Amazon or something.
Yeah, I feel you. And the truth is, we are right now talking about what is. We are dealing with what is. We're not talking about what we wish was true. I wish that there was more room for something like this, that there was more audience for that, because I think it's very valuable. Now, do we know that things come in waves? Absolutely. If this becomes trendy, if hipsters decide, or whatever the next hipsters are, decide classic movies are cool again, or whatever it is, and that somehow gets in the masses, then fine, maybe there is.
But marketing, it's all about marketing. I can't remember who it was. Some fan was yelling at me about something. I think it came to Halloween. I didn't realize how much money goes into marketing. I was looking at
it's a ton.
It's a billboard costs like $10,000, and it just adds up and adds up and adds up. People don't understand, and you don't expect everybody to understand how much a movie that cost $10 million, right, could have like $100 million worth of marketing, because you got to think about internationally where they're marketing. I think like if you see a billboard here, think about how that adds up, right?
Yes.
A television ad, a newspaper ad. I wanted to do something we're looking into doing like some events for Schmoedown in different parts of the city, and someone sent me
country.
Of country, excuse me. So somebody sent me for New York. We were looking into it. For a spread in, I think it's the New York Times, it's like $10,000 for one page for a splash. And like, that's the type of shit that movies do all the time, and that adds up, man. And
those
goes.
posters
People don't realize how
all
much
over. That's
money.
A lot of money.
It's a lot of money. People
Printing,
don't realize when they see that stuff.
Vans that you see that have it on the side.
Buses, commercials.
Paper's expensive.
Dude, you're not lying, and it leads and it adds up. So it just quick promotion. of these movies go fast. So a movie that costs like $10 million, like, oh, the budget was $10 million. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, but it's probably like $100 million to like market this fucking thing.
Even press screenings, even getting us there and getting the theater space, giving everybody their candy, their popcorn, their drink, their whatever it is, making sure that the publicists cost a lot of money. Like every little
publicist
thing
stuff, yes. As far as the, what do you mean with the popcorn and stuff?
Well, I just mean
that's
buttering you up.
I just mean like putting on a screening, getting the screening space, the whole thing is like a whole to do. It takes time.
Press, yes,
it takes time.
Absolutely, it does. You're right. And
which is money.
And that is 100%. People don't think about that stuff. So anyway, but I do. I mean, I know Alicia Malone very well, and Alicia is a very close friend and someone who she was a co-host on the Schmo Show for almost 2 years, and we worked together on AMC. I don't know if there's anyone more passionate about classic films than Alicia Malone.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anyone who has more in-depth knowledge on it than Alicia Malone. She is, I mean, someone is such a breath of fresh air in this space because of that alone. Now, she's never shied away from the fact that it's the comic book movies and the Star Wars stuff. It's not something. That's not her.
It doesn't speak to her.
It's not what she loves. She loves this stuff. So this is going to be devastating.
Although X-Men, she was.
I mean, there's certainly movies and inside of things that she likes, but this is the stuff that why she loves film. Is because of classic films like this, and she loves this season that we're talking about now. Like the movies that I just talked about, she's probably seen 3 times over. You know, but. This is her passion, and it just happens to be. It's the same way. Like I was a big boxing fan for a very long time, and a big MMA fan. And I always wanted those to be the sports that were like the America's pastime. And when MMA wasn't big, and boxing was not, and nobody could talk about it, I was always like the one person who would bring up all these. Nobody knew what the hell I was talking about, right? And it was just.
You were laughing straight to the bank, though.
But not at the time, because for betting and stuff though too, it was starting to become more popular at that point. But still, my point is that like I bring this stuff up and people I couldn't. It's not as mainstream. It wasn't the popular thing. So I understand like having that passion for things that just not everyone else loves. But it's also there are certain movies that are going to pop. There are certain movies that are not. And the streaming service for classic movies, I just never thought was a great idea. I understand that people don't want it to go away, but I just never thought it was a great idea.
And there still is the Turner Classic Movies channel that you can subscribe to.
I think Alicia's on.
Yeah, which Alicia is on. I mean, this is a lot of the conversation was then turning to like physical media, where it's like these people that want to watch classics, and you have all these directors coming out and saying how awful this is. Right. You're not going to be able to see these movies when you want, like all of a sudden a classic movie pops in your head. I want to see that. Right. So they're saying go buy it, you know. But streaming introduces them to these movies.
Well, look, FilmStruck, right? You look at right now. This is Seven Samurai.
Seven Samurai.
See, this is the one thing. You're right, though. If I was subscribed, if I was subscribed to this series, this service, I'm automatically going to just start watching Seven Samurai, right? And you have this. You just have this menu of cool. I'll watch this. Luke. But if I want to go watch any of these things, I can watch them anywhere. You know what I mean? I can watch them. They're available. I just don't think that the classic film lover is as strong as.
It's different. Like who would love this is Grammy and Papo, but Grammy and
Alicia and Mance.
But Grammy and Papo are not going to have a streaming service.
Right. That's such because my dad is a classic movie guy. Like original King Kong. He's like, we're watching this right now. He introduced me truly to my love of movies. He doesn't know how to fucking text.
Right.
He doesn't know how to, and like, he still doesn't know what I do. He's like, where are you? I'm like, Dad, have your wife pull up YouTube. What's that? Yeah.
Grammy called me crying because she had downloaded Hulu and was trying to call an Uber on it. Like, that's the kind of stuff we're dealing with. So it's like...
my dad's not going
to... great choices.
You Two Mama Tommy. And I remember when
I
was dating a girl at the time for that movie, E Tu Mama Tambien, and I was being not douchey, but like she was like, come see this movie. Like, I don't know what the hell that is. I don't want to watch that movie.
Such a good movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that movie surprised the hell out of me.
I love that movie.
How much is this service? How much was it?
How much was it?
Yeah.
That's a great question because there's two answers to it, and it is if it was cheap and people still weren't getting it, then there's no way you sustain.
Right.
And it was $10.99 a month.
$10.99 a month.
That's expensive. I think. I think that needs to be $5.99.
$5.99.
Yeah, that's too much money for.
I mean, if you do the $100 just for the year, you're saving a little bit of money.
Yeah, right. but still, but it's like why? But why do you? Yeah, that's
current students and educators 40 for 6.
Yeah, that's a very tough service to keep. So I got to be honest, I'm not surprised that it shut down. I understand the backlash for it because it's like think about it like a popular show that went away. Look at what was the Joss Whedon show? Not Firefly was the movie, right? Or Firefly was the show.
It was
Firefly.
the show.
Yeah, Serenity.
Yeah,
was the
and
movie.
then Serenity was the movie.
So Firefly, when it went out, people were like, "No, bring it back." The other one, Veronica Mars, is another one people want to bring back, right? Coming back now. Maybe after this kind of resurgence of shows that happen. But that happens with television all the time. And so I understand that with the service. This is a popular service for the people who had it, loved it. And we're very similar to shows that we've had here in the past. Like, I've had conversation with hosts, like, why are we canceling the show? The people who watch it love it. I go, that's great. But unfortunately, there's only so many people that are watching it. It's great that those people love it.
Yeah.
But we got to get about 50,000 more people to watch it.
Strength in numbers.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a bummer.
It's a bummer.
It's a bummer. I understand it. I get the business decision. Beardo, move your face for a second. I want to see what time it is. Yeah. So Reilly, anything else going on in the world of news?
I mean, there's a bunch we could touch on. I'm looking at that Fantastic Beasts 2 is tracking at 75 million.
What did the first one do?
The first one, I think it was like 70 million. Let me go there real quick. It's I wonder if it's going to be something that we're surprised at, or if this talk about Johnny Depp being a little upset with this guy, if that's going to keep some people.
74? First one did 74 opening weekend. No, I don't think that the Johnny Depp thing will have an issue. It will have a problem with it at this point. I think because I think a lot of people whoever is not going to see it is not going to see it.
Right.
I think
and
that
it's such a small number of people. I think
it's small.
truthfully.
Yeah.
What they
the Potter people are going to go see.
That's the whole point. Is that they're relating it back to the world of Harry Potter. The first one felt like it just happened to exist. This one seems like it's tying in. I think people are picking up on that.
Any way we hit 100?
I think so. I think we could actually.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think wait for the word of mouth of the critics too. I think that it has, because here's what the movie has going for it. Again, I always say that I think I'm one of the few people who really liked it.
No, I really liked it too.
I really liked it, and
it was fine.
But that seems to be the consensus for most people is either fine or they didn't like it at all. And I think that if this movie hits, if you come out of this movie saying that one was really good. That's what they're aiming for. They're aiming for those people who thought the first one was just okay, getting you back on board because they're going to make 4 of these things, right? Total of 4.
5, I've heard.
So 4 more. So
4 more after
this plus 3.
Yeah.
So if this one hits you, because this is make or break for you. If this is another just fine,
100%.
yeah, you're like, I don't really, because if it's just fine, you're not going to give a shit about the third one.
No.
And if you have to go because if it's a screening, that's one thing. If you
I'm
love
still
this
in.
One,
I'm still
right now
in
you are.
enough.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you love this one, then you're like, I'm in. I'm good. Where's the third one? And that's what they got to go for.
J.K. Rowling is writing the screenplays, which gets me very excited always because she created all the wonderful books that I love so much, and I see it tying into your point, the Harry Potter world. I'm seeing Deathly Hallow kind of things popping up here. Nagini, it's like, which was a Horcrux at one point. So it's coming in. I like that.
Then I think that they know that. They know that they lost some people in that first one. And this is, again, because you have the writer of the entire series. I always bring up the what's his face? Tolkien, right?
Yeah.
Always bring him. He wasn't available. to be on the Hobbit movies to help, right? Well, you've got J.K. Rowling to help. So if you want to maneuver stuff, hey, our biggest thing was it didn't tie in as much. Well, let me write some stuff up. I'll be able to figure it out in a heartbeat. I mean, that's a huge advantage.
It's her world.
It's her world. She created the whole damn thing. So and she's very involved. So I have big expectations for this, and I think I also then Creed's right around the corner too. So November looks cool. November's exciting.
I'm so in on that. I'm excited for Widows too.
I am too. Yeah, I'm curious to see. From what I heard about that movie is that the performances are really good. I heard directing is just okay on that one, and I like Steve McQueen. Yeah. All right, let's do one more, and then we're going to get into our guest will be joining us.
Yeah, one more for your take. Kathleen Kennedy.
Yes.
She did confirm that the Boba Fett movie is dead.
And no one tweeted out at poor Frosty and to apologize.
This is where I wanted to go with it. Yeah, because
Frosty had this report that it was
that he took so seriously.
It was done. He did
research.
He researched the fuck out of this thing to make sure.
How much he was talking about this thing for weeks.
And when was this?
2-3 months ago, right?
It was like right after
Frosty
Solo.
said it's done.
Frosty went through and he told me, he's like, they're killing all this stuff. They're killing Obi-Wan. They're killing Boba Fett. They're killing it. And he's like, but I want to make sure. I want to get all my sources and everybody kind of all ducks in a row here. And then he did.
Which he did. And he did. It was paused.
Right. And then there was a statement that came out right afterwards to do damage control. It was like, and he came out with a report, and then right afterwards, it's like, no, see, not going to happen. And other people started making YouTube videos. See, that's what they never said. And he's like, I'm telling you, just wait. And then they waited for it, and then Kathleen Kennedy confirms that it's toast. So
yeah, they're focusing on the Mandalorian, which maybe there's some elements that can pop up in this thing that might have Boba Fett. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over
As
there.
two
But
of the biggest Star Wars fans that I know, or does this upset you guys at all?
Not in the slightest. I never wanted a Boba Fett movie.
I never thought we needed a Boba Fett movie. He became legend off of a great costume.
I think it was a Simon Kinberg push for a very long time, who is a big name in the industry and has a lot of say. He's one of the executive producers on Rebels, and he's very passionate about Boba Fett and the Bounty Hunter tales, and I think he wanted to do one for a very long time. The Boba Fett movie was the movie that Josh Trank was going to do, but it just came down to a place to where I think after the Han Solo, they were hearing a lot of people saying in the first place, no one wanted a Han Solo movie, no one wanted a Boba Fett movie, and then after the Han Solo proved, nobody wanted a Han Solo movie because the movie wasn't bad. It was fine. Yeah. And it wasn't a terrible movie. Just no one wanted to see it. That's why it didn't make money. Plus the marketing was shit, and we've gotten into that 100 times over. But they're going to start. The next thing that they announced, I still think an Obi-Wan would have hit, though. I still think Obi-Wan would have hit.
I agree, because you look at that. When people are talking, nobody wanted the Boba Fett, the Solo, but everybody wants the Obi-Wan movie because there's a story there that
you want to see Ewan come back.
You want to see Ewan come back, with that little bit of the Revenge of the Sith, bringing in the New Hope and just that world. I think everybody wants that. Boba Fett, not so much.
Not so much, but I think you're right. I think you nailed it straight in the head. I think that Boba Fett, one way or another, will be addressed in The Mandalorian. I think it'd be a missed opportunity if you don't at least address what the hell happened to him.
You know what nails it straight on the head?
What?
John Roca's big penis.
You're still going with that one, huh? All right. Well, with that, we're going to go to break.
On your mind.
We are going to have Adi Shankar in studio talking about Castlevania season 2. The season
Great
2.
segue.
Season 2 of Castlevania when we get back from the break, guys. Collider Live. Hello, Collider fans. I'm Kristian Harloff, and you see my stupid name in the background because that's my other show. It's One-on-One with me, Kristian Harloff. What the hell is it? I just sit down and talk to people. I literally just sit down and talk to people about what the hell's going on in their lives and their careers, and it's a long-form interview show. Originally, it aired on Collider Video as far as the YouTube channel goes, but we moved it on over, and it's on the Collider Video podcast, Collider Podcast, on YouTube. Go on over there if you want to see the video and to see the pretty faces that I'm talking to. Had some great guests over the past. And we're going to have a lot more. And there's going to be people that maybe some celebrities or actors and actresses, producers, writers, all that stuff. But there's also a lot of the people that you know around here. I could have Cobbster on there. I could have Jeff Snyder, John Roca, Mark Reilly, Roxy Striar, whoever. And I'm going to find out more about them. Long form, and also go to Apple Podcasts and check out the One-on-One feed with Kristian Harloff. And not only is my show on there, Mark Reilly, the Reilly Roundtable, which is another sit-down, long-form interview show, that's also there. And when Steve Frosty Weintraub talks to Kevin Smith or George Takei, that's going to be on that podcast feed also. So if you're taking a long drive and you like those long-form interviews, pop on the One-on-One with Kristian Harloff, give it a rate, comment, do all that because it helps the show and it makes Podcast One go, hey, you know what? Those people should get ad money.
Oh, hi guys. It's Perry here, and I am going to tell you about The Witching Hour. It is the show that I host along with Collider.com's Haley Fouch. It is in podcast form on the Collider Factory feed, and we also have the video up and running every Tuesday for you right there on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel. We talk about everything horror. We're talking TV, movies, the newest releases. We talk about movies that are celebrating anniversaries. We've even talked about books. It's crazy. If it is scary, we are talking about it on The Witching Hour. We also have so many filmmaker interviews, really cool stuff. It's all coming your way every single Tuesday on The Witching Hour. Check it out. Collider Factory and the Collider Podcast YouTube channel. Ugh.
Hey, Collider fans, John Roca here. Look that behind me. There it is, Collider Sports. That's right, that is happening right now. We started it a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. We've had some great programming on there already. For those of you that have already watched, thanks so much. We got so much coming down the pike. We're talking about NFL. We're going to talk about NBA. There's plans about NHL. Golf is in the equation now. And, of course, the Premier League show that I host with Jack Hind, that's been in motion for the last couple of weeks. And then an MMA show is on the way from Dennis Zhang, me, and Jay Williams as well. For you might know him from the After Schmo show. What is that thing called? Afterthoughts, that's it, the Afterthought Show. All those things are happening here at Collider. And look, we want to hear from you, so we want you to listen, we want you to watch. If you're a sports fan, even if you're not a sports fan, we might entertain you, teach you something new about a sport that you may not have known much about, or maybe so deep into it that you wanted to learn even more about it. We've got you covered. You can do that. Follow us on iTunes and on YouTube. You can there watch all the shows or listen to all the shows that you want, and then leave us comments and rate the shows as well and review them, and then let us know what other sports you want us to cover. Look, we're not touching rugby. I'll just tell you that right now. That's as far out as we'll go, or cricket. But maybe in the future, if we go Collider worldwide, that's certainly a possibility. But for right now, Collider Sports is there for you. Take a look at it, take a watch, and let us know what you think.
Hey guys, Reilly here, and let me tell you about the Reilly Roundtable. That's right, they gave Reilly his own podcast. The Reilly Roundtable is on its new home, and that is One-on-One with Kristian Harloff on the iTunes feed for Podcast One. It drops every Thursday. The Reilly Roundtable is a little bit about everything. It's about movies and life and movies and everything in between. I like to have on special guests for discussions like Justice League versus Batman v Superman, for discussions about wine tasting, for discussions about UFOs, and everything in between. That's right. The Reilly Roundtable drops on Thursdays on the One-on-One with Kristian Harloff podcast feed, and later on Collider Video's own podcast video network. So check it out every Thursday, the Reilly Roundtable. See you there.
You guys are dicks. Welcome back to Collider Live, and Kristian Harloff, Jeff Snyder joining us in studio.
My
Roxy
second
Striar.
time.
It's your second time.
Yeah.
But first time on Collider Live, but not first time with me. Adi Shankar is here. Hello, Adi. How you doing, man?
Good.
Good? Real good?
Yeah.
Or just a little good? What kind of mood? You were sick last time we talked. That's why I asked you.
I'm better. I started. I started meditating.
You did?
Yeah.
Everybody's meditating. So our mutual friend Katie Sackhoff is a big meditator now too.
Yeah.
So
It's very trendy.
It is though. When did you start? When did you start doing that, and what led to it?
I just realized like I had a problem.
Yeah.
Like I was effectively a workaholic, but I didn't look at it that way because what I do is fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kept down on this path of like lacking balance. And then in December, I just went to a village in India.
Wow.
Well, I hadn't been back to India in a while,
Yeah.
right? And that's when it just kind of dawned on me that like I moved here at 16, and I was so terrified because 2 days later, I moved here by myself at 16, like without my family, didn't know anybody.
Right.
And 2 days later, 9/11 happened.
Oh shit.
And I was
Right.
so terrified that I wouldn't fit in, that I would, like be looked at as a terrorist, effectively. And this was a narrative that was in my head, right?
Did you get any of that?
Not really.
Good.
Not really. But in my mind, I was. In my mind, you interpret a look.
Sure. You're just wondering what people are thinking about you, even though they might be thinking something completely
Absolutely.
different. Right.
Like this accent I use is a construct. I made this up when I moved here. This is not my real accent. I don't talk to my parents this way.
What do you sound like?
When I talk to my parents, I talk to them like this. But then I came here and I'm like, dude, I need to assimilate. I want to fit in. So when I went to India, it kind of deconstructed a lot of that. I got back in touch with my roots, and I realized like certain behavior patterns that I have are very destructive.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, I wake up in the morning. First thing I do is I check my phone.
First thing a lot of us probably do.
Yeah.
Right. Disaster. Now, first thing in the morning, I meditate for 10 minutes. I just do 10 minutes of deep breathing. I'm appreciative of my surroundings. It kind of zaps me out of this fight or flight mode that I'd been kind of like, living in, like from one obstacle to another.
And you found it's helped dramatically.
Drastically.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like way more like present.
Good.
Do you guys ever use like the Headspace app?
No.
Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it.
I've used that.
The one with the sounds?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Well, it's like a guy with a very soothing voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say so? And the answer to this question might be no. But have you ever suffered or been as far as depression goes?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And
absolutely.
You feel the meditation has helped with that as
yeah,
well?
Yeah.
I love you to death. You got to stop breathing into that mic. You kill me. Yeah.
No, I've had to. I've had to go on medication for it twice. For depression.
Okay, and
Twice.
And with the medication, with the meditation, does that also help, or do you still need to be on the medication as well?
No. It's all under control, right? Like, it's like I just didn't have a skill set on how to navigate my own thought process.
Sure. And now you do.
Yeah, now I do. I have tools. Obviously, I'm not perfect. I need to get better at it, right? But that self-care, which sounds a little hokey, but it's true. I mean, dude, I've been like suicidal a few times, and I don't like admit. I would never have admitted that until like super recently.
Well, that's helpful in the fact that, like, once again, because now, do you find that when you're meditating, and because you're able to do that, because you're able to say it out loud, because I think that what I found in this space alone, because of all the personalities dealt with, a lot of people that I worked with, that I know, suffer from depression, have had suicidal thoughts, and it's like when you're able to, like you said, put it out there, put it at the forefront, not attack it. I don't want to use that word, but you know what I mean. Like, just face it head on.
I don't like the way I look.
Yeah.
I feel like I talk weird. I take these long pauses, and I do that because I'm speaking in an accent that I've like constructed. I'm like, this whole persona is kind of.
I just thought it was because you were thoughtful.
Well, that too. That's definitely a part of it. That's definitely a part of it, Jeff. But there's certain nuance that I've incorporated into this manner of speaking, which is very colloquial, right? And that is kind of designed to disarm, because people in India speak more formally, because it had that British colonial influence. And I sprinkle in like a lot.
Well,
what's
your family think about the accent and stuff too? Because the reason I bring this up, I just watched Bohemian Rhapsody, and you look at Freddie Mercury and obviously not his name and from where he came from, his whole culture, and they tackle inside the movie of how that went over with his family and what's your relationship with your family, and how do they feel about the accent? The accent's been around, the new accent's been around for a little bit now, but were they accepting of it? Did they understand?
Well, I think. Just the Indian culture, Indian society, right? Like, again, it was a British colony not too long ago, right? India has been routinely invaded by outsiders, so there's an element where, like, if you go out and you assimilate, that's considered a good thing.
Yeah,
it's considered a good thing. It's not, it's not in certain other cultures, especially here, especially now that we've kind of moved into this era of like intense tribalism, where all of a sudden, if you're not, repping your block the right way, you're like a traitor. That doesn't really exist in our community the same way, right? Yeah. It's like you have to still be proud of being Indian, but we,
shifting a little
absolutely
bit. I understand.
So would you say they're proud that you fit in, or however you want to describe it?
Shifted.
Yes.
Is it tough?
I mean, this is like a film podcast, so I don't know how deep I should go into this. I mean,
do
you actually want to know the real answer?
Yeah, I really want to know.
So I want to give you a breakdown that hold the answer, because this is not a film podcast. So Collider Live is for exactly what we're talking about here. Collider Live is for that. If it goes off into, I want to talk to you about your show, and I want to talk about you, everything that's going on. We'll get to that. But this is about everything. Joe, what's on your mind?
Okay. So here's what happened. I had a miserable time in high school. I felt bullied. I, again, moved here 2 days later, 9/11 happened. It was, I was the only person that looked like me. I immediately felt like an outcast and felt like the school was against me, right?
So you were in high school in America?
Yes, I moved here when I was 16, so junior and senior year, which is already very tough.
It's tough, yeah.
Right? And then also the culture shock, everything. And the internet didn't exist in the same context where it does today, so there wasn't a way to really just go and look it up. Like, okay, this is the culture, this is this is how people dress, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So I kind of held this weird resentment towards this school. And my 15-year reunion was like in May.
Okay.
And I was just kind of like, oh, F that place. I had this lingering resentment. It just didn't really make any sense. The school actually reached out to me. The high school reached out to me to speak to the students. They were like, "Hey, are you coming to this reunion? Because we would love to have you speak to the students." So now it's kind of like my immediately where my mind went was like, "Oh yeah, this is just gonna be just like Get Out." It's like I know what you're pulling.
Right.
Like that's where my mind went. Okay, but there's two other things that happened that day. One, I was working on like kind of a deal with a big company, and I got an email that same day saying, "Hey, we're moving forward with the deal." Mm-hmm. And the other big thing that happened that day was Kanye West called me.
Okay.
To just like collaborate and
out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
He liked your style.
Yeah.
You guys are both individuals.
Right.
Right.
So that was so all of a sudden it's like that 3 thing. All of a sudden I was like, okay, this is the universe telling me, and obviously now I'm in the meditation mode and everything. So this is the universe telling me to like deal with this. Mm-hmm. So I went to the reunion. I walked in with kind of walls up, a little like on edge, on guard. I walked out realizing my narrative was completely wrong. First of all, the kids in the school thought I was really cool.
Right.
They all just thought I was really cool, like when I was there.
So you never officially got bullied, you just felt you did?
I was misunderstood.
Understood, okay.
But everyone was like, yeah, you were just like, we all thought you were just really like smart.
Right.
Like you were just like a really smart dude who had like all this like world experience.
So it blew your mind when you were at this.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
And
this is at the reunion, the kids that you had gone to school with are saying this to you.
Right. And they were all like coming up to me because, I mean, part of it was, I guess it'd been out there that I'd like done film stuff. I don't think it was so much that. Just kids were just like sharing their stories. Like one guy was like, I was like, how did you feel? And he's like, I hated it. I was like, why? And he said, well, I was too tall. I felt too tall. I felt like everyone was making fun of me for being too tall. And I said, being too tall, dude, my like survival mechanism is find the tallest person in the room and befriend that dude.
Right.
Yeah, since when is the height a bad thing?
Well, but I think that Adi's point is the fact that everybody had their thing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I realized that what I thought was an isolated experience was just teenage angst.
Right.
That's just what it was, right? Another kid who was like a top of the class, like everyone loved this guy, super social athlete. I was like, hey, did you have a good time? And he said, no. I said, why not? And he said, because I was in the closet the whole time and I was terrified people would find out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, whoa, you were living, okay, okay. My narrative needs to change. The other thing that happened was that week. So like literally the reunion was on, like I left like on a Thursday. On Monday, Kanye shot a video of me talking in my real accent.
Oh.
And he like posted it.
Wait, were you cool with that, or you were not cool with that?
Yeah, no, I was
okay.
cool with it because he was like, yo, he was doing his thing, and so I think like a lot of people saw that and realized. Actually, I don't know. I'm now this is me maybe projecting, but that was also happening in the ether. Mm-hmm. I don't talk to my parents very much about some of the stuff that goes on in my career because I just don't have the framework. But I remember to bring it a full circle to how do my parents feel about it. Mm-hmm. I was at the hotel, waiting to go for the first thing for the reunion, and my mom called me and my dad. They were both on speaker, and they were like, "We're very proud of you for what you just did." And I'm like, "What did I just do?" And they're like, "This." I tied it into the character of Apu from The Simpsons and how it made me feel. Yeah. And it wasn't like me bashing the character or anything like that. I was just saying, look, this was my experience.
Yeah.
I felt.
Were you talking about the screenwriting contest? That's what they were proud of you for doing, or
the whole thing, the screenwriting contest, the fact that like I literally just went out there and, started talking in my real accent.
So they saw Kanye's video. And that's when they called
the
you.
entire, because this became like international news in India, for instance, right? Like all the newspapers in India were writing about this, and yeah, like
Was it one of those things where it just like that? Because, it seems like you have a pretty good relationship with your parents.
Oh yeah,
and
great relationship with them. Yeah.
But it always, no matter who you are, it's like the second you hear your parents say we're proud of you, it's like it gives you another boost. It gives you another boost, and there you are doing all this stuff too for your culture, for your inner workings. I thought from what I think it's an inspiring tale for anybody for that high school thing. You see it one way. You perceive it one way. It's completely different. But not only do you say, okay, my narrative has changed, but you also have the courage to talk to other people throughout there too to get their. So now, as a producer, do you then start to take that stuff? Do you formulate any stories?
Well, okay. So this is where I'm kind of a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Because I've always operated with the following philosophy. I think just maybe this transition, and there was a lot that went into me moving to America by myself at 16. Like my father lost his job. It was just there's just a lot of turmoil going on in the home front, right? Nothing bad, but as a kid, it's a little unnerving. This is where I'm a hypocrite. I've always operated under the assumption that your life is literally just a kaleidoscope of sounds and images. And then you are taking those sounds and images and constructing a narrative around it. You're basically the narrator narrating the story of your life using this kaleidoscope of sounds and images that, some of them are real, some of them are just kind of snapshots, some of them are just kind of recontextualized based off of the falsity of one's memory. Sure. And if you are unhappy with the narrative, you're unhappy with, certain things trigger you the wrong way, then maybe look back, course correct the narrative, because you attract whatever you put out, you attract whatever you feel. I believe that. I did not practice that here because the pain was so deep-rooted.
Right. Makes sense.
I did not come on here to talk about this, by the way. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe I just like you. Yeah.
That's what we do. Yeah. That's what we do. But I think it all plays into what we are here to talk about. And I think because here's another thing. We started off this whole conversation with meditation. We talked about that. I'm sure that had something to do with the fact that the way you approach that high school reunion as well, too. So how does it... we talked about personal life. We talked about family life. How does it relate into your work? How does it relate into? We got season 2 here now. Okay,
yeah.
I remember that last time we talked, we were hoping that we were going to get to 2. We get to 2.
Yeah.
We get to season 2. As it just came out.
Mm-hmm.
How are we feeling about that? What do we need to know about Castlevania season 2 and how you approach season 2 as a producer?
Season 2 was. It was just better than season 1 for a few reasons. One, actually, like we talked about this last time I was on, creating the production pipeline to pull off a show like this, because there was no blueprint. We had to develop it. We didn't want to do that 3D CGI look. We wanted to replicate that hand-drawn OVA 90s anime, 80s, 90s anime feel. And, it's hard to pull that off without the appropriate team and without the workflow. So this is literally an international team of artists that we had to put together in order to execute it. So season 1 was constructing the arc. Season 2 was perfecting the machinery, so to speak. So that was great, very gratifying.
Do you get a bigger budget for season 2 after the first season is a success?
Oh wow. Jeff Snyder with the
the big question
with the yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, because it's got a fan base now too. Is it season 2? You'd assume.
I mean, the answer is no.
Oh, really?
And here's why. We basically jumped right into it, right? Because Netflix announced season 2 before season 1 even came out, right? So it was like, okay, the people are digging just the trailer alone, so go, right? So it was it was still an unknown quantity. When I went into pitch Netflix originally, they weren't in the anime business.
That's what I was about to ask you.
They didn't. This wasn't a thing. I didn't go in and say, hey. What were you about to ask me?
Well, just do you feel like it has sort of opened the door for the anime genre at Netflix? Because maybe it's because of Castlevania that I'm paying more attention, but I see a lot more on the service than I used to.
Totally. They sent me to Japan to go, talk to the Japanese media about it, and it's like because I'm from Southeast Asia. I'm like, I spend most of my life in that region, and that's why
So do you think that Castlevania has sort of shown Netflix like that there's a big fan base out there for anime, and they're looking for a place to find that stuff?
Oh, absolutely. But I don't think it's just Netflix. I think everyone's kind of wisening up to that fact, right? And there's a few reasons for that. I mean, the 80s, 90s film entertainment ecosystem, which you are and we're a big part of, right? I mean, you were covering it. It was all driven by like that star thing, right?
It's his favorite thing to hear in the world, and he was a big part of it.
You absolutely were. But he absolutely was, right? I mean, he was bringing scoops, but scoops were built around, well, who did you get? Like Brad Pitt was worth more than.
Well, it was the days of Ain't It Cool. It was that kind of stuff.
Right.
The spy reports, the early test screenings.
Totally.
That kind of stuff.
So,
all right. So with season 2, then you're pumped about it, and so do we know about 3 yet, or season 3? It's not locked in yet, or if it will be, that's when we get a bigger budget. We don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
We're in talks.
We don't know yet.
Okay, that's fair.
But I will say this, right? It's not. And I'm not trying to diss anyone's programming. I'm just saying from personal preference.
Sure.
I can kind of tell when people are making it up as they go along. You know, the show. They're like, oh, we got another season. Okay, what can we do this time? Right. So we have this all mapped out. Now it's just a question of how much resources do we get to do it? How much time do we get to tell it?
You say mapped out. You're talking about from to series finale. Saying,
yeah.
Okay,
We've got a whole
like a 5
thing. We've got a whole thing webbed up. I mean, yeah.
Does Netflix own the show outright, or do you own it and license it to them?
Dude, that is crazy. That is an awesome question.
Here's the thing: we're noticing Netflix.
I feel like I'm at AFM right now. I'm at AFM right now.
We're noticing Netflix canceling these shows that they don't own outright, whether it's some of the Marvel shows or American Vandal. So I'm just wondering if you're worried about that. I don't know if they own it outright.
Do you think about that kind worried of stuff? About getting Castlevania canceled?
Because if Netflix doesn't own it outright, are you worried that it makes it more susceptible to being canceled?
I think a part of that question too, Adi, if I can, is the fact that because going off of that, because of this news, some people saw the first one,
Iron Fist.
People saw that coming. The Luke Cage one was everyone's like, whoa, they're canceling that one as well. As a creator, so going off of what Jeff is saying there too, do you then say to yourself, okay, are we next?
No.
Okay.
No, because I'm privy to I'm privy to what went on in that thing.
So you know why Iron Fist and Luke Cage were canceled?
Yes.
Oh.
And there is a definitive reason.
I mean, it's not one reason, but
right.
But it's.
Any chance it has anything to do with the Disney streaming at all?
Better we don't.
Talk about
it. Because then that will get Castlevania canceled.
To answer his first question,
or get me canceled.
That's
I don't know.
To answer Jeff's first question, can you answer whether they own your show straight up or not, or can you not answer that?
I mean, I'd rather not.
Okay.
I'd rather not because
no
it puts me in weird explaining.
Right. Well, the good news is that
mode.
You're in a good position. That's where we're coming from. From where we come out of this whole thing, you're in a good position here with Netflix.
Yeah, Castlevania's trending up. Those shows, were trending down.
But you're not. So like you said before, though, you're a busy dude. You do a lot of shit, and you got. So the other thing that you have going on here is Bodied. And Bodied is a 2017 American battle rap comedy drama, and it is directed by Joseph Kahn.
Yes.
It was written by Alex Larson and is produced by Eminem and his manager Paul Rosenberg, of course, Adi Shankar. So. First thing before we talk about Bodied here, this is going to be, you got to give the political answer though too. I assume the whole thing with Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly, right? You saw both the battles.
Yeah.
Who do you think won?
Marshall.
So now because I know how in hip hop, why did he win the battle? Why do you think he won? Because I always get the conversation between the two people who they won. Because I'll say this too. I go back on my original thing. You and I have talked about it. Originally, I thought Machine Gun Kelly won the whole thing, but I never heard Marshall's original diss. I always thought it was just some little line, but he roasts that dude the first time around. I thought his first diss was better than the second one. That's my opinion on it.
I think it's kind of dangerous territory for Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
And here's my logic as to why, right? There's a similarity between two of them, right? I don't think you ever want to go after someone who
legend.
Not just a legend, but a legend in the same lane that you're operating in right now.
He's his type, kind of.
Exactly. Like go after 50 Cent or Ja Rule or anyone else.
Right.
So it's like across category, right? I'm trying to think of it like a film example, but it would be like a young up and coming horror director going after John Carpenter. You're
Right.
not going to win that battle.
Right. Right. Even if you have one good shot, it's
Right.
like people are always going to remember because once the legend comes out and hits you in the mouth, he just punched you in the mouth. Nobody, that's all you're going to remember him for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you get bodied.
I agree with that.
You get bodied the moment it's like, I've forgotten things that you haven't even learned yet.
And I love the way you tied it back to your to the film. So tell me a little bit about it. What's it all about? And we want to hear.
Yeah. So it's and Jeff,
It's awesome, is
Oh,
what
you've
it is,
seen it.
dude. I've seen it twice. It's
Okay.
awesome.
Okay.
So it's about underground battle rap culture
Yeah.
as it exists today in a post 8 Mile world. But really, what it is it's a takedown / dissection / examination of PC culture, outrage culture, et cetera, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera. Right? That's really what it is about under the hood. But on the surface, it's a battle rap film.
Okay, great. And does not that it matters one way or another, but does Marshall actually show up in the film?
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
I do.
You show up in it?
Yeah.
all? Okay. What do you do in the movie?
I have a turban, a beard. I play like a camper security guard, but I talk like this.
Okay. And do you rap? I'm just curious if you do.
I mean, I can.
You can.
I think we should do one today. I think you guys should battle
Absolutely
rap each
not.
other.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
I'll
not.
battle rap you.
I wouldn't do it.
I'd do it.
Well, that's great. So the movie,
Yeah, I was like, I'll roast you right now.
Well, listen. So here's some things about.
I mean, I'm an
Bodied.
easy target,
Yeah.
Jeff. I'm an easy target.
So am I.
Me too.
You are indeed.
You're in a room
I
full.
disagree. I don't think you're an easy target. I think you're
You
just
haven't
a
been on-
dude. You're just a dude that speaks the truth.
You haven't been on social media.
He is
lately.
such an easy target. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. All right. But
And
Bodied,
I love this guy. but
Bodied
he's a target.
is again, guys. The movie premiered at the 2017 Toronto International Film Festival, and it stars Caitlin Worthy as Adam, who's a graduate student who becomes a competitive battle rapper after becoming immersed in the scene while working on his graduate thesis on the subject. Now, the movie won the Toronto International Film Festival People's Choice Award in Midnight Madness. It won Fantastic Fest 2017's Audience Award, and in January 2018, YouTube Red announced that it acquired exclusive streaming rights with a release later in 2018. That's
YouTube
awesome.
Red didn't announce it.
No,
Didn't
Jeff-
announce it.
Collider announced
it. All right, good. Well, Collider announced it. See, there we go. So that's
So
my notes.
humble.
Or the tracking board. I don't know. Whoever did. Wherever I was.
That's fine.
Yeah,
But,
Jeff broke that story.
It like the movie's great. I think Callum is fantastic because he's an American Vandal. What I'm curious about is like the rollout with this because Neon, YouTube bought it, but then teamed with Neon for theatrical.
Yeah.
So what's the deal? It's coming out in theaters November 2nd. When are YouTube folks going to get to see it?
Oh yeah.
End of November.
End of November. Okay, cool.
Because has YouTube done this sort of thing before? This
No.
is really like a first. This is
Yeah,
like a
so
big test
this is-
case.
Yeah, it's a big test case. Yeah.
Well, there we go. So, all right. So, what else we got going on here, Adi? So, we have.
You had mentioned to me that there may be some movement on this other cool project that you're developing. I've been following it for years. I Saw the Devil, which is I made them actually watch the trailer last week because I was like, this is one of the great like revenge movies. So, is there something going on? Is there anything new on that front?
You're gonna get me into trouble.
Ah,
But yeah,
you're already in trouble. You're already all over the news this weekend with
I
the
know.
Abu stuff.
I know.
All right. So, but yeah, you said
And
there
it's,
was some.
it's picking up again.
Yeah.
Because Al there was like did you see this?
I've seen a lot.
Al Jean, what happened? 'Cause
No.
he's the showrunner of
Right.
Simpsons,
No.
right?
Oh no. I think I did see something.
What
yes.
happened? What happened? If it's out there, you can tell.
Well,
us
I mean,
about it.
yeah, he wrote a thing saying, Adi Shankar's not a producer on The Simpsons,
Right. Okay.
and he doesn't speak for.
Right, but you were just
The
saying
Simpsons.
that you had sources who were saying, like, you were
right, and then
talking on
someone
behalf
else,
of
and
the
then
Simpsons.
someone else said that to him, to Al.
So this is Entertainment Weekly, who says producer Adi Shankar has found the perfect script to solve the Simpsons.
Yeah. And that was all fine and good.
Okay.
So then someone else responded to Al and said, Adi never said he was a producer on The Simpsons, and he responds, yeah, I know. I'm referencing this one article. It's this site I'd never heard of. It's called NME.
Mm-hmm.
N for
I know exactly what that is.
N for no source, M for management sucks, and E for
Everyone.
education needed.
Right.
Like, they printed this false article. Like whoever wrote it just didn't. They said Simpsons producer says all this stuff, and he was literally just saying this is a false story. So he's not really addressing the issue. He's picking this one fake news story.
Okay.
When I find out that Enemy's actually like a
they're
somewhat
big.
they're a big site, so I'm just kind of like WTF. And then this morning I wake up and like now BBC and like The Sun, they're picking up this story as a
Simpsons
fact.
means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right, but they're quoting. It's just weird. It's weird.
It's
like
a game
wrong.
of telephone. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, it's a false narrative now that's taking hold, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
What would you
That's
do
why
then
you're here to correct the record.
That's one of the things, so too, because I feel like, in a way, and don't take offense to this. When I say, I feel like you're out. No, I feel like you're out there. You're always there fighting a fight and fighting a good fight and fighting like I think that. You're creative, dude. We know that. We know that production, the things that you've done in the past, things that you're doing now, currently. But I do feel like you like to get out there and take the gloves off and scrap. And it's not, in a certain way.
Absolutely. So I used to be that way. I'm not that way anymore. I'm literally not that way.
Just pulling you back in by accident with this thing?
No. This is where it's getting misinterpreted.
Okay.
This was an olive branch, right? Like. I looked at it as a problem. I said, there's The Simpsons, which is this international show. Yeah, this character about Apu affected me negatively. Mm-hmm. And then at the same time, there was all this outrage over the Apu problem, and they didn't really know how to address it. They didn't know how to deal with it, and anything they were doing was deemed wrong. Mm-hmm. And people were mad at them, right? And I thought, why don't we do this? Why don't I just crowdsource a solution? Why don't I create a screenwriting contest, make it free for everyone to enter? I'll, get readers and everything, and I'll make it like a panel of Indian Americans can in entertainment can be the judges, and we'll find acceptable scripts and we'll just kind of show it to them, be like, look, here, this takes the onus off you.
Right.
I was doing it to help.
Right.
I wasn't trying to start a thing. It then turned into something else. Right? And all I was doing last week was I announced the winner of the contest.
Yeah, okay.
I just announced the winner of the contest. And it just turned into this thing,
all right?
But what's happening with this thing that's upsetting to me, right? Is the whole political correctness thing, right? So it's like, oh, you politically correct millennials, you're ruining comedy, right? I'm like, I'm not for or against political correctness. This has nothing to do with political correctness. This has everything to do with, I'm trying to just present a solution. I'm trying to move this narrative forward because my fundamental belief here is we're dealing with some pretty fucking catastrophic problems that are about to hit society. And they're coming from tech companies. They're coming from the disruption they're about to cause. Mm-hmm. Right? We're being siloed off into these little tribes, and these tribes benefit the market of the future because it basically carves itself carves everyone up into this tiny niche that you can sell products to.
Right.
And that is happening, and it's dividing the planet. And if we can't come together over something as small as a cartoon character, how the fuck are we supposed to deal with the big shit when it's about to come? That was my philosophy. Right. That's what I was trying to do, and that's what I'm still trying to do.
But they took it as someone who was trying to they have a very similar what you were just talking about. They have their protective shield. They're part of their own cliche, or not cliche, little pocket. The Simpsons is, and they're saying this guy's not a producer on the show. He can't make calls like that. And where you were just saying, I want to make more of a solution to this problem.
I don't even blame the Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with anyone. I'm just trying to, just to give you an example of what, I'm. It's not loading here, but. Yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem with anybody. I'm literally just a guy trying to present solutions. Right? Because.
So I guess the question is, because I know, is the problem the media reporting on you trying to like offer those solutions?
Yes.
Like them taking everything out of context?
Yeah. Yes.
That's what I gather too.
It's like. It's like the daily Ben Shapiro site and Breitbart.
Yeah.
Right? They're literally spinning one narrative.
Right.
The others are spinning one other narrative. And I'm like, dude, I'm not part of this narrative. Okay, I'm not part of this fucking narrative.
Right.
What I am a part of is the we need to stop fighting narrative.
Right.
Did you not see it coming at all?
What?
That there would be backlash for your competition?
That's a good question. Did it ever actually seep in that this could? We know that you from hearing you that this is something that you wanted to do, but did it ever push back that they could get pissed off about it?
No.
Okay.
No, because, and this is maybe just me being super naive, right? Like, I mean, you can even see what Al Jean tweeted, right? He said, Adi Shankar is not a producer on The Simpsons. I wish him the very best, but he does not speak for our show, right? So he's not actually addressing the issue at hand.
Right.
He's just really correcting.
Yeah, he's letting people know about the contest that it has
This
nothing to do
was
with Simpsons.
literally last night,
Right.
and I responded, I wish you well too. Let's work towards common ground, ignoring only fans to flames. The world is polarized, getting more so, and the onus is on us to bring people together. Engage in a constructive way, and this matter will go to bed. I see you, now I'm asking you to see me.
It's fair. It's a fair response. Yeah.
Like, what is political about that?
Right. Right.
I'm literally just
very well said.
It is well said. You can say. I think that anything can be constructed as political. I mean, I think that there's certainly, especially what we're diving into this overall conversation of the competition alone is political. But I think that there's a side to it that I think your side is right, and from what you're asking him is fair, and I think it's a balanced conversation in general.
I'm just saying we need to have a dialogue.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there should be a dialogue, right?
Yeah.
Because, look, I've had this theory for years on us as a species.
Mm-hmm.
The information age was very great for humanity, right? We started, it really hypercharged this new interconnectivity we had. It took globalism and just kind of turned the volume up on it. And it's all good. It gives the average person on their cell phone access to more information than the president had 40 years ago.
Right. Also gives
right?
everyone a voice.
Yeah, and that's all fine. That's all fine and good.
Yeah.
That's all fine and good. But we then reach critical mass. There's too much information. How do you process too much information? Because the human mind is not designed to handle so many narratives. And then we've been, we are the human brain pre-augmentation. We will eventually be augmented. We will eventually augment our eyes and our brains and our ears, and the human experience will fundamentally shift as a byproduct of gene splicing and tech augmentations. But until we get to that point, we need to get to another point and move away from the information age. So the next age is the age of understanding.
Yeah. Well
like
said.
that.
And with
I like
that,
and
Adi
I talked
Shankar.
about this in 2013.
Yeah.
I said the age of understanding has to come, because if it doesn't, there'll be a seismic collapse.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have share your point of view.
The age of understanding.
Yeah.
The age of understanding. So when I make a video, and Kanye shoots this video, and all I'm saying in this video is, I moved to America and I was too afraid to talk like this because I thought everyone would just say, thank you, come again to me. That's just me trying to make people understand. Look, this is the other side of the issue. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not trying to impose my will on anybody. And this is just my point of view.
Yeah.
And here's a solution I have. If someone has a better solution, go for it.
But that's it. Adi, and I thank you for sharing your point of view here today. Like I said, you never wanted to shy away from the way that you feel, and I appreciate you doing that here on Collider Live. Castlevania season 2, is that's wishful thinking. Season 2 is on Netflix now. You also Bodied that we're gonna be able to check out in November. Thank you for visiting us. Please come back and see us again, and let's keep talking some stuff, man, because this is a lot of fun. I love having you on. It's a good
Dude, this is great.
Cool.
I love you guys.
Guys, and I make sure you check out his Adi Shankar brand on Twitter. Is that correct?
Yeah, I just started Instagram too. It's at Bootleg Universe.
At Bootleg Universe on Instagram. So check that out. And for Jeff Snyder, Roxy Striar, myself, Kristian Harloff, tomorrow I'm out, but Mark Ellis will be here. And we have on Wednesday, Matthew Lillard is coming into studio, so make sure you check out tomorrow. And we have Jim Cummings on tomorrow. Winnie the Pooh himself is on the show tomorrow, so check that out, Collider Live. Thank you, guys. Peace out, Mother Ups.